One-year-old Cole Thomas Allen of Torrance, California. Secret Service agent. More news to come after this.
Ryan Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
The National Lightning Safety Council has put Alabama in the top 10 ranking for the most lightning strike fatalities from 2016 to 2025. Alabama ranked number 3 with 11 recorded deaths since 2016. Most lightning strike deaths occur while people are working or enjoying outdoor leisure activities. Amtrak is investigating a crash involving one of its trains and a semi-trailer near Mobile Sunday morning. Train 23, or the Mardi Gras train, struck the truck on CSX tracks around 7:20 a.m. 48 passengers were on board and none were hurt, but several crew members were treated for injuries at the scene.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama Sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollar. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folk helping local business.
Before you commit to that plumbing repair or upgrade, get a second opinion from Headley Plumbing. Our estimate could save you thousands. We do it all: residential, commercial, and septic tank service, serving the entire river region. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the river region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Thank God for another beautiful day, and what a beautiful day it is. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. and Montgomery needs a new mayor. Well, we'll get to the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I just had up there on the screen, if you're looking at the live stream, this is a photo at 10:15 in the evening, right after Trump was forced back to go to the White House. And everybody's in their tux, still holding drinks, just kind of getting the brief on what happened, and we will definitely get to that in a second. But I want to begin with, my thoughts over the weekend and what was really on my mind as I sat down thinking about the week past, not what happened. The shooting happened after I sat down and wrote this. But I was thinking about two stories of sickness. When Jesus saw him and knew that he had been lying there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be healed?" John 5:6. And his disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Jesus answered, "It was not that this man sinned or his parents, but that the works of God might be made manifest in him." John 9:2-3. Good news. Good news, folks. The Word of God is living and active. More than mere words on a page, or the tales we tell for our own sake, the Word is forever the beating heart that bears all our joy and suffering. The very breath that animated us from clay still breathes in us a desire for things everlasting in our modern day today. The light of the beginning, the same light that gave sight to the blind and strength to the lame in Jerusalem, continues to shine today, even in our moments of sickness. Two stories of sickness caught my eye this past week. One, the beating heart of John 5. The other, the light of John 9. One, sickness born of sin. The other, to manifest the works of God. One, the struggle of a man who doesn't know if he wants to be healed. The other, the trial of a boy seeking a cure against all odds, not simply for his own sake, but in hope for those he loves most, and for all who may suffer his fate. By worldly standards, you would think Theo Von has it made. Wealth, fame, the love of fans, the company of stars, from entertainment to politics, that the comedian and podcaster has a truly wonderful and blessed life. I mean, I saw it over the weekend. I admit I was a little jelly. I was jealous. What fella wouldn't want to sing You Look Like You Love Me with Hope Hull's own Ella Langley live on stage? I would. Yet for anyone who's closely followed Theo Von over the years, he remains a tortured soul, despite all the laughter and worldly goods surrounding him. In fact, his brokenness has always been part of his charm. His willingness to be honest in public about his life struggles has only brought him more love. Many people, especially young men, see the same struggles in Von and Theo Von. They see them themselves. Yet, if a man known and loved by millions for being honest about his sickness, what if he was offered a chance to be healed? Would he want to be healed? What if being cured meant losing so much of who you are? What if there is enjoyment even in a toothache, especially when the shared ache is celebrated and becomes a fixture of your identity? What if sickness born of sin doesn't want you to be reborn? Recently, his heart beating with the Word, Theo Von shared this testimony on his podcast. "You know, I've been struggling, man. The past couple of years, it's been a struggle. Sometimes I realized for myself I would pray to God to help me get away from certain behaviors in my life, but at the same time that I was praying, there would be a part of me that knew I was probably going to do those things again." And there's a story called John 5. It's about a guy who's at these pools. There's a sick man there, and he's been sick for a long time. And Jesus asks him, "Do you want to be healed?" And that's a crazy question because, you know, if I get healed, then I'm different. So that's just been something I've been having to ask myself. It's like, yeah, do I want to be healed? Do I really want something different? And sometimes a lot of the answer is no. I want something different, but I don't know what I'm scared of. If I'm scared of it, I don't know what I want, what I am. I don't know if I don't want to do what it takes to get it. I can't even tell what it is. It's hard for me. Some of this stuff's a little bit hard for me to say. I think I don't even know why. But I think I want a new story. Pick up your mat and walk, Theo. But, as Christ tells the man he heals in John 5, see, you are well. Sin no more, that nothing worse befall you. That said, sickness is not always born of sin. And as difficult as it may be to believe, and truly difficult it is, but as difficult as it may be to believe, some sickness, even terminal cancer, does not lead to death, but to God's glory, as Jesus said of Lazarus in John 11. Over the last year, 15-year-old Will Roberts of Ralph, Alabama, has lost half of his leg to a malignant form of bone cancer. He recently secretly took to his mother's Facebook page to make a last-ditch plea to the Trump administration to help gain access to a drug that may help his battle against the disease. Well, his plea worked. Roberts received a call from the Trump team after his video went viral. And I believe like Barry Moore saw it, then Katie Britt saw it, then Tommy Tuberville saw it, and everybody shared and got it to the president's team. Dr. Oz reached out to him. His family then quickly raised over $500,000. I think it's close to $600,000 now to pay for the experimental medication, and will soon make the journey for the treatment. Yet, just read, just listen here what 15-year-old Will Roberts said in his plea for help in part. Chances are this is probably the end of the road for me. They probably won't get it in time. But if this can help other kids with cancer, I would love to help in any way I can. Y'all, I'm terrified just like y'all would be if y'all knew that y'all were about to die. The cancer is just increasingly spreading, just spreading. The cancer's all over my body right now and all in my liver, and there's not really much you can do to treat liver cancer. Y'all, my mom, she's been having sleepless nights. Just nights without any sleep, and she's been researching every single night. And y'all, I tried to call her a couple times, and she was just like bawling, but she wasn't trying to show it. In the midst of this immense suffering, faced with his own death, Will Roberts, 15 years old, 15, thinks of helping others. Pure light in shining darkness. By his response to his suffering, that 15-year-old has made manifest the works of God. Thinking of others, he suffers with Christ and has spread the good news and light of the living and active word. No matter Will Roberts' fate in this valley of tears, he has already been healed in ways everlasting. Perhaps those who fear being healed of their sickness of sin, whether it's Theo Vaughn or myself or most people out there struggling with whether or not they really want a new story and to give up their past selves, perhaps those who fear being healed of their sickness of sin should look to the witness of those who did nothing to bring their sickness upon themselves, yet embrace the light in spite of the cross they bear. Welcome into the program. It is a beautiful day, truly. I actually spent a good bit of the day outside touring a property that I won't say much about, if anything, about publicly. Beautiful place I got to go visit this morning. Truly serene. And you can fall in love with the brilliance of God's creation and the beauty of being able to take a moment in silence and just soak it all in. I think, Troy Carrico's here in the studio with me, and you live out on property like that where you could do that off your own front porch, I'd imagine.
I do. There's a different. I'm glad to hear you say that you enjoyed it. It's a liberating experience to be out there.
But I was thinking over these stories, both of them covered last week. Yeah. Especially with Erica Thomas covering the Will Roberts story. Gosh. And it is a major success where Dr. Oz called them up and also raised a ridiculous amount of money. And I will continue to hope and pray for it to work. But I think it's amazing when you see kids, especially. Yeah. It's one thing when you lived a life, and you've got, even you don't want it to go away, you don't want to leave, but you've lived a life. Right. When you're 15, what have you done?
When you read that, the first thing that came to my mind was, in the Army, we have a core value system. It's about 7 different values, but I think it applies in Christianity, it applies in humanity. Selfless service, selfless, the expectation of nothing in return, even if I can just help other people, and at great expense to maybe my life or my safety. That's the first thing that came to mind. Was he's like, look, I may not make it, but I can do something for others, and
it's amazing.
It's a very noble trait.
Yeah, and I think is weird thing to say, but in some ways that is a grace. In fact, I'm thinking of the other guy, Ben Sass. He said exactly that. He said, my cancer diagnosis is a grace in part because I have to be honest now. And it's when you see people bear their suffering, we all bear it in different ways. It puts the everyday suffering we all have, even if you're a successful rock star. I really am envious. I'm like, man, you got to go sing with Ella Langley after interviewing her for like 2-something hours. What in the world is this? And you're miserable still, but I get it. I really do. Because that's, bread for the day. That's not your super substantial bread by any means.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of temptation thrown in living that crazy rock star comedian, life. Yeah. But it does put in perspective, those sort of struggles that the everyday person has. When you look to those who are suffering the worst, maybe it'll give you the courage to, pick up that mat and walk.
It also gives you a perspective, doesn't it, that the things that you think you have that are problems, the complaints you have, and this or that. What do you know about? So where were you at when I created the heavens? Okay?
Right. Yeah. It always could be worse, and really, it's a matter of how you respond to it. I think it is really a matter of, do you get out of the way, and do you let the good Lord work through you?
Absolutely.
Again, 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. If you want to react to the crazy thing that happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Wow.
Now, and again, I'm throwing this photo up on the stream. This is a black and white photo.
It's a classic.
Like at 10:15 at night, Trump fought like that he didn't want to leave, want the show to go on, but they said it was protocol. And so he goes back to the White House, and this is right after they get back. The whole team assembled there in the Oval Office. Trump sitting at the desk with everyone around him. You can see it's a Secret Service agent showing him some of the video footage. You can see Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Todd Blanche, Dan Mullen, J.D. Vance, all wearing tuxes and bow ties, all suited and booted in those brilliant suits.
That's a classic, isn't it? That's going to be like in one of the many
really
reader books. See, there it is. It's incredible.
And apparently the security got to this guy fast, man. And it's, thank God, they put him down fast. Now, Trump was describing in the follow-up press conference that they had many layers of security for an event like that because the building's insecure. It's a hotel convention center.
This is true.
Like, there's so many different entry exit points, and just like there's just so many different things you got to cover. And so apparently they had multiple layers of even undercovers all over the place. But the guy, I guess, charged the magnetometer and ends up getting put down for his trouble. He's still alive, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
And he's revealed to be a No Kings protester with an anti-Christian manifesto. Yeah. And Trump sat down with Norm O'Donnell of 60 Minutes and really just rips into her. Barack Obama also putting out, he's not even sure what the motivation might be. Okay.
Please.
Yeah, okay. Sure we are. And then Jimmy Kimmel did a White House Correspondents' Dinner like fake roast where he said, Melania Trump's here, the first lady's here, and she's glowing like an expectant widow.
He is, I'll tell you what.
Ooh.
You know what? Be careful.
It's kind of mean.
It may come down upon you.
Yeah, I guess that's
what
sort
you
of.
sow thrice, you get. I mean, what you sow, you get thrice. So he can't get enough, I don't think.
But it's thank God nothing worse came of this. Nobody died of this.
No.
The one officer who I believe did get shot at close quarters, but he had pretty good Kevlar vest on.
He did.
What's that like? Like that? Seriously, I don't know if that's happened to you. I'd imagine it has.
It has happened to me.
Where it doesn't hit you, but it hits the vest.
I can tell you this, that the best way to describe it is you lay there for a minute wishing that you would have died because it hurts so bad. I had a bruised sternum
Oh, goodness gracious.
area. So, yeah.
So it's just a huge concussive
Yeah,
force.
it's concussive, yeah. And depending on the distance and what you're being shot with, but it doesn't feel good. And even if you have that on, if you're at close range and it's depending on the caliber of the rifle or whatever it might be, the handgun, it can still cause severe critical damage to you. So
I'm looking at a report here from the Epoch Times. The suspect who was arrested following that shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, that it was Trump and the whole cabinet. It was supposed to be a big night.
Yeah.
And there's a weird moment of unity in that press briefing room afterwards where everybody all dressed to the nines. And usually it's a little tense in there. And there was some of them started to ruin the party. You nerds. Some of you journalist nerds.
The Huffington Post was involved.
But the White House has identified the suspect as Cole Allen of Torrance, California. Said that he's written a manifesto that indicated he was targeting Trump administration officials, taken into custody on Saturday evening after the shooting at that dinner. Of course, evacuated the event. Secret Service agent shot in the chest, but wearing a bulletproof vest. Trump said at that press conference afterwards. So, this guy apparently wrote a manifesto which contained his political views. A family member told law enforcement officials that Allen sent the manifesto to them minutes before the incident. He probably thought he was dead doing what he was doing. Yeah, I mean, if you're charging like a secure, White House event. Trump commented on the alleged manifesto in an interview with Fox News on Sunday morning, saying it had anti-Christian viewpoints. When you read his manifesto, he hates Christians. That's one thing for sure. Wow. He hates Christians, a hatred I think his sister or his brother actually was complaining about. They were even complaining to law enforcement. So he was a very troubled guy. The president added that Allen had a lot of hatred in his heart for quite a while, and that his family knew that he had difficulty. Well, yeah, you don't do something like this unless you have meditated upon that sort of evil for a little while.
It's premeditated for sure, yeah.
Like, you don't just wake up one day. It's like everybody wants to go to the Texas Bell Tower shooting. You don't just wait and, he had a tumor on his brain. Right. No, most of the time you have been deep down in the shadows and contemplating pretty awful things probably about the world and yourself.
I would think that he's role played and war gamed it a million times. And this was well planned in advance. So
the Maryland Montgomery County Police interviewed Allen's sister, who said her brother often made radical statements, and he said he wanted to do "quote unquote" something to fix problems with the world. That ain't it, bro. Allen had also displayed anti-Christian and anti-Trump viewpoints on social media. Allen's brother had notified law enforcement in New London, Connecticut, about the alleged manifesto. Other details were provided about Allen by the White House, including that he was part of a group called the Wide Awakes and attended at least one No Kings protest in California. The Wide Awakes originated an anti-slavery political organization set up to elect Abraham Lincoln during the 1860s. In that presidential election of 1860, and a social action movement was formed under that name more recently. The No Kings demonstrations are a series of anti-Trump protests that, of course, have been held in a number of cities, including in Fairhope, Alabama, where a woman was arrested for wearing a costume of a giant penis and then was exonerated in court that it is your First Amendment right to dress up in an inflated giant penis. One No Kings demonstration held in March was organized to oppose the Trump administration's immigration enforcement policies, of course. The White House officials said Allen purchased 2 handguns and a shotgun from Cap Tactical Firearms, an online firearms portal, and kept the firearms at a parent's home. His parents were not aware he was keeping the guns in the home. Well, that's usually the case. You're not usually showing off to your folks like, hey, look at what I'm going to go use. Look at what I'm picking up to go use.
Yeah.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said the investigation into the case is ongoing and quite preliminary. Allen is not cooperating with law enforcement officials, the Attorney General added. He said law enforcement officials are investigating some of those writings and are speaking with people who knew him. I kept it a little general because we do believe it was administration officials. He said, obviously, President Trump is a member of the administration, the head of it. But as far as exacting threats that may have been communicated beforehand, we're still actively investigating that evidence. Blanche declined to provide more details about the writings, but I mean, that's more and more coming out in the press, and it seems pretty clear what the guy's
Yeah, what's
motivation was.
interesting is I'm just researching something on Reuters. Graduated from Caltech with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering in 2017. He got a master's degree from Cal State University in computer science. He's a part-time teacher at C2 Education, which specializes in high school college test preparation.
He was Teacher of the Month in December in 2014, or in 2024.
Well, there you go.
Teacher of the Month.
There you go. That's who's educating our youth.
Well, you know, maybe the sort of crazy, courageous, but down in, well, wouldn't even be courage at that point. It would just be brash, like rash. Yeah.
Rashness, yeah.
Yeah. But Alan, who has that master's degree in computer science, is listed as the developer of a video game called Boredom.
It was nonviolent, but it was non-kinetic, it says, but violent, fighting.
Okay.
That's what it says. The description of it was using body chemistry as the key elements of your character. So.
Oh, what a shame. But yeah, that is, again, this is the epic photo.
He had no shirt on, too, if you notice that.
I did notice that. Kind of a skinny fella.
He's a scrawny. Yeah, he looks like looks like his wiry little guy.
Skinny fella. Well, and before I hit this break, this is the president on 60 Minutes with Nora O'Donnell, and she brings up the manifesto and quotes a particular part of it. And Trump ain't having it, folks. He ain't having it one bit. After that moment of unity and kumbaya, and we're going to do it, we're going to redo it in the next 30 days, and we're going to do it bigger and better. And I'm probably going to be nicer. I was going to rip it tonight. People would have been crazy, but I think I'm going to have to be nice now. And you know what? I always give you a hard time. You're doing a beautiful job as chairwoman. You're just doing a beautiful job. Just it is funny to see like the mask drop off when a real human moment shows up. Sure. Everybody actually acts human for a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, here is the moment on 60 Minutes where Trump he's genuinely pissed in this moment.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction?
Well, hold on. Did you see that? For those watching, did you see him cut his eyes to the camera?
I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his
Yeah, he looks right into the camera. Like, can you believe what she's doing right here?
His crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I
these
was
are
never,
the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
The other thing that he wrote in
You're disgraceful.
Disgraceful. Shameful. He's got nothing to lose, you see.
No, and it is like, because think of other, and the double standards with the corporate media is just crazy.
Sure.
Like other awful, tragic shootings where people died, actually, and it took, years for any sort of manifesto exists, but they bury it.
Of course.
And knowing they can't bury this one, what's the part they quote on 60 Minutes? The one that just echoes the guy's
mindless,
depraved,
demonic
grievance.
Yeah.
Anyway. We got more, but that's the quick breakdown of what's been going on. Thank God nobody got hurt, other than, got hurt, but nobody died. Thank God nobody died.
Said the Secret Service guy, but I know he's got a bruise and he's sore.
And he's got a heck of a story now to tell for the rest of his life.
Took one for the team, man.
We got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800-lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct.
Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth.
What was that?
I went to the Walmart, man.
Yes?
And I accidentally went in the back door.
How did that work out?
Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in.
And then what did you do?
I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter.
You flew millions of miles just for that.
Hey, man, I don't ride them. I just read them.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
When it's time to replace an old window or door, you want expert craftsmanship and proven experience. You want Davis Door & Sash. Right now, take advantage of our limited time promotion. 10% off materials on new energy-efficient doors and windows. Voted best in the River region for windows and installation in 2024 and 25, Davis Door & Sash would love to work for you. Call 334-288-6010 or visit davisdoorandsashalabama.com. Davis Door & Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
It's Prattville City Fest, presented by Prattville Baptist Hospital, May 1st through 2nd in historic downtown Prattville. Live entertainment, arts and crafts, food, and Pepsi products by signature sponsor Pepsi. Prattville City Fest, presented by Prattville Baptist Hospital, May 1st through 2nd in historic downtown Prattville. It's free.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, this week is starting off quiet, but we have a very active weather pattern ahead in the next several days.
Today, a good bit of sunshine, very warm, high up to about 87. Partly cloudy, mild tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 64. We'll be in the upper 80s tomorrow, Tuesday. A sun and cloud mix with the risk of some spotty showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon. But showers and thunderstorms become likely Tuesday night and first half of the day on Wednesday. That's storm system number 1. Cooler Thursday, high in the upper 70s. Then another storm system by Friday night into Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And before we top the phones, I got to play this quick clip here because this is Trump again with Nora O'Donnell, and she brings up the No Kings aspect.
He had attended a No Kings protest in California.
No Kings, yeah.
What did security tell you about what may have been his motives?
The reason you have people like that is you have people doing no kings. I'm not a king. What I am, if I was a king, I wouldn't be dealing with you.
Man, when he gets frustrated, like he just, I'm so done with you. Let's go to Sandy. He has a question for you, Troy. Hey, Sandy.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Sandy.
Troy,
Hey, Sandy.
my I don't know if it's a question, or a thought, or about, the president was there at the dinner. The president, the vice president, Hegseth, and I'm like, why would they all be in public like that together? I don't understand that. Military or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I've worked force protection and PSD, which is personal security details, and typically in a situation that is what I would consider a non-critical meeting, you rarely have all of them together like that. You would have a portion of them, or you may have emissaries from the Department of War, like the undersecretary. But I found it odd too, and what that tells me is that they have, I guess they have confidence in the system. But Sandy, you're not wrong by what you're thinking. It is a bit risky. Yeah.
Right. The video of them snatching the vice president off his chair and rushing, it's kind of, it's just icky.
I saw Joey and Sandy. I saw a lip reader say something that J.D. Vance, when he found out what was going on, he was like, it was a moment of concern. Like, what, he was a little bit, taken back. He's like, oh my goodness. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, we need to fill the ballroom. Get it over with.
You know what, Sandy? Unfortunately, I don't think this will be the last time we have something like this happen. It seems like.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Sad, but
yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Sandy.
Let's go to Paul P. Hey, Paul.
Joey.
How you doing?
What up, Troy?
What's up, my friend?
Yeah, she stole my thunder because I was wondering why in the world they would all be gathered together in one place. That's just something that doesn't normally happen. And along the same lines, have they mentioned what type of gun it was?
The shotgun was
I'm only getting bits of...
Yeah, no, the shotgun was it was a knockoff, I think a Turkish knockoff 870 Remington pump. And then the handguns, I do not know what caliber they were. So,
yeah, excuse me.
Odd choice too, though. Odd choice of weapon, right? I know. We all got it right now, Paul. I mean, we got it.
I'm fine.
Joey's fine. He's unblemished. But I say is he's walking on. He's every day. It's great to be Joey Clark. It's wonderful. But I wanted to say this. I found it odd that he didn't have an assault rifle, like a mini assault rifle, where he could do a lot more firepower damage. But obviously he's not a weapons guru.
One of the things I was also had the back of my mind is the Kel-Tec PMR. That thing holds what? 33 rounds of 22 Magnum.
It sure does.
Now, I've seen so many different videos about the 22 mag.
Yep.
And the 5.7.
2.8. Yeah, the 5.7 2.8. Yeah, that's a good round.
Mm-hmm. And if he got a shotgun in there, what could have happened if he had taken a rifle in there, being a long-barreled gun?
Yep.
Would that have penetrated that vest?
It depends. If he was,
don't know.
Yeah, I think he probably had a level 4 or level 3A tactical vest on, I would imagine, which is supposed to withstand up to 44 Magnum and 7.62 50-54. But I don't. I'll tell you, like I told Joey earlier. Listen, if you ever been hit close range, even with like an AK round, which is a smaller, less ballistic round than the NATO 7.62, it's an incredibly. You kind of wish that you wouldn't be conscious. You know, it hurts.
Oh Lord, that kind of brings to mind the 410. That'll shoot a 45 long Colt.
Yeah, it sure will.
And the 454.
It sure will.
Oh.
You don't want to get hit by that, do you?
No, that'll take a bear apart, won't it?
Yeah, well, it sure will. I have a 45-70 Marlin lever guide gun, which absolutely incredible weapon. You could watch that round leave, Joey, but it's 300 plus grams, and whatever it hits, it aggrains, it blows it up, whatever it hits.
It goes in one side the size of your thumb, and on the back side it dissipates.
That's right. Good talk.
All right, guys. Back
All
to
right,
the
great.
FM.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Troy.
Appreciate it, Paul. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there, Montgomery Men's Health, well, I've been telling y'all for a while, get by there. You're wasting time. Stop procrastinating, especially if your energy's off. It could be as simple as that. You just feel tired all the live long day, even right when you wake up. Or it could be you're starting to lack confidence across life, at work, or in the bedroom. Well, I've been telling folks, get by Montgomery Men's Health. They're powered by Men's Pro. What I like about them is they've been doing this for years. It's not some fly-by-night organization or some sketchy online place where you're talking to a chatbot doctor.
You're a patient of theirs.
Absolutely.
So you're a happy patient, too.
Yeah, and I'm getting in on that peptide game because, yes, they have stuff to help you with low T, low testosterone, ED, PE, just want help with weight loss, but they now have peptides like NAD plus and Smorelin, and the results speak for themselves. Over 92% of men respond to treatment, and most guys say they wish they'd come in sooner. This is why I'm telling you, don't procrastinate. And I'm telling you, I've seen the results.
Yes, you look great.
Well, thank you. So y'all check them out today.
It's great to be Joey Clark.
Yeah, it sure is. Y'all check them out. Lab panel, just blood work, consultations, $99. So make an appointment today at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. Again, 334-272-9228. Yeah, they're showing off more of this fella.
Yeah,
it's wall-to-wall news coverage. He's about to be expected in court soon.
Okay.
Yeah, no shirt on. I guess they took his shirt off.
I don't know if he came in shirtless.
I don't think
like
he was
Rambo?
shirtless when he ran in.
Like Rambo?
I think during the scuffle, his shirt came off. But in the midst of all this, Trump on 60 Minutes decided, I can't leave it alone. It's not just going to be the shooting we talk about, because really he was a crazy person, sick. There's a sick person. I love that Trump was able to sneak in this little ditty about, Alabama, Montgomery's own Southern Poverty Law Center.
I see these no kings, which are funded just like the Southern Law was funded. You saw all that. Southern Law is financing the KKK and lots of other radical, terrible groups. And then they go out and they say, oh, we've got to stop the KKK. And yet they give them hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars.
They were
It's a total scam run by the Democrats. It shows you that, like Charlottesville was all funded by the Southern Law. That was a Southern Law deal, too. And it was done to make me look bad, and it turned out to be a total fake. It basically was a rigged election. This was a part of the rigging of the election, and that's what you really should be doing. I mean, I hope one of your 60-minute episodes, which really hasn't changed very much from the last few years, I'm surprised, but one of those episodes should be on Southern Law, and the fact that they spent millions and millions of dollars on absolute far right and just bad groups. And then they'd use those groups and they'd say, these are Republican groups and we're coming to your rescue. And they're the ones that have funded it, and they're the ones that keep them going.
Mm-hmm. Never forget that.
I know. It's, you know, and it calls into question all the things that the Southern Poverty Law Center's ever done now. Their credibility is shot.
And in a second, we probably will have time. Alan Mendenhall has a new piece out talking about the SPLC, called The SPLC and the Map That Ate the Territory.
Okay. I like the sound of that.
And then, of course, you have an op-ed that you want to, it's on the Alabama Department of Mental Health.
I actually had 2 published today. Did you see that?
You had your JDAM one that we talked about last week.
And I'll talk, you know what, and there's a reason why we had to hold on that, but that's been cleared, so yes. Yeah. And then I did one on Alabama politics with Dr. Bill Chitwood, because he is a former psychiatrist. He owns the Alabama politics site and a big proponent, Joey, of veterans' mental health, and it's kind of emotional for me, so we'll do that a little later.
Well, we got to hit this break. Hopefully we'll have Austin Baranko on the other side. Be right back, folks.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today, sir?
Having a good Monday. How are you and Troy?
Oh, we're very good, all things considered. He's really fighting off the allergies. You doing okay on the allergy front?
Yeah, I just take my Zyrtec every morning. So today I'm good, but man, my nose stays runny this time of year.
Me too.
Yeah, I've been fit as a fiddle.
Joey, it's good to be Joey. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, everything's perfect.
It's great to be Joey.
It's all perfect in my world, yes. Now I've been seeing like some of the confirmation hearings last week with Kevin Warsh for the Federal Reserve job. Like, number one, does that play into anything? As I know how much people carefully watch the actual Federal Reserve chairman, or say watchers of the Fed watching those confirmations, and what are we expecting once Warsh actually gets into that job?
Yeah, so, first he's got to get through committee, which that vote should be Wednesday this week. So I expect him to make it out of committee to the main Senate floor for a vote. That'll probably happen in early May. And then Jerome, there's probably like a 75% chance that he gets confirmed. Jerome steps down and Warsh steps into that role. The market is already baking that in slightly. If you look at futures on interest rates, you'll see they've stepped down just a little bit, which is in line with a dovish tone, which is Warsh's kind of known quality. He prefers cutting rates and easy money policy as opposed to Jerome, who's more kind of a hardliner and a hawkish Fed chair. So that's kind of the timeline. Is we'll know Wednesday if he made it out of committee. If he did, I think there's a better likelihood he gets confirmed than not, and then we would see him in the role later in May. And I don't think we would see any immediate policy changes. Even though the Fed has become somewhat politicized under Trump, Powell has done a good job of remaining nonpartisan and focused purely on economic data. And I assume, even though Warsh is going to favor the administration, I doubt he steps in on day one and is like, let's cut rates. I think it's a dangerous thing to do in the current environment with, the destabilization in the Middle East. The price of oil right now is really the big question mark. when the price of oil is up, creates an inflationary scare. You don't want to cut rates into an inflationary scare, or it's a double problem. So I think he'll be pretty calculated on when he cuts. I don't think it'll be immediate. So really, I think we're not going to see any major changes in the market right now. The reason I think it's baking it in is, we hit all-time highs last week, and we've kind of stagnated today a little bit. Everyone's waiting to see what's going to happen, but even if he gets confirmed, I don't see it being a major driving factor of market movement right now. I think all eyes are still in the Middle East, and the Federal Reserve isn't driving the narrative like they were a year ago. Right now, it's all what's going on in the deal with Iran, and not to mention, what happened at the dinner this weekend. I think most people, the news cycle is so short. Everyone's off Middle East right now, focused on that. The market will take a couple of days to dial back into some of those broader factors about, what's going on in the Middle East. So for a couple of days, I think all eyes are kind of on the dinner and what happened this weekend.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. And I had to fill up the gas tank today, and daggum, I got a key and not thinking I was going to have to spend that much to fill up a tank. And looking at crude right now on Fox Business, up about, let's call it 2.5%, 2.4% just on the day. And it's got to be, this uncertainty's got to be pretty hairy to be watching, and because when the uncertainty's at play and it's really in the hands of a lot of these, not just Trump and team, but a lot of the crazies in Iran, and who knows what their leadership is at this point, it's tough to know what the future's going to hold.
That's right. And it's on our allies. I think that if we had a more unified front from our allies, this thing would be put to bed a lot easier. I think it's frustrating as an American to not really have the support of your allies in the region as much as we need. This thing would be over a lot quicker if we did. But, you hit the nail on the head. Right now, people are feeling it at the pump. That's going to put pressure on, anyone in a political position in our country to kind of choose a side and knock this thing out. Hopefully it doesn't end up with egg on the face of the current administration. But I think, Trump and his team have shown time and time again be able to weather these types of storms. It's a little bit of discomfort in the short term, for typically a better long-term outcome. So we'll see how it goes.
I was asking, what are you hearing on over in China right now with the delay of the oil? I'm hearing some interesting reports coming out of open source intelligence saying that they're reducing flights and a lot of things, with diesel being the industry, lifeblood. What are you hearing? Anything out of that?
Yeah, I hadn't focused a ton on China. What I have heard is, they're kind of focused on positioning, militarily in the Pacific right now. And I don't know, I haven't looked far enough into it to understand what that positioning means, but I know there are a few islands in the Pacific that are, controlled by the U.S. and or our allies, and they are, maybe contending some of that in a way that's less formal, but we'll see how that plays out. I don't know as far as oil sanctions between, say, China, the U.S., and Russia, and how oil's moving from point A to point B between, Russia and China and the U.S., but I do know that it's not just us that are feeling the pain at the pumps. It's going to be even more severe in Europe and Russia and China at the moment.
Okay.
Well, let's, before you go, tell folks about Invista Advisors.
Yeah, so we're registered investment advisory based in East Montgomery over here, and we specialize in everything in the realm of finance. So if you're, someone listening to our radio call here and you have never had a financial professional put a plan together for you, give us a call. We always lead with planning, whether that's planning for retirement or planning to put your kids through college or buying or selling a business or giving benefits to your employees through a 401k plan or something similar. If you've got a need in the realm of finance, we'd love to be the team that helps you.
And that number to get in touch, folks, start the conversation is 387-0094. When you call them up at 387-0094, be sure to say you heard Austin Branco on the radio with Joey Clark.
Awesome. Thank you, Joey. You enjoy. Have a good day.
You too, Austin. Again, folks, that's Austin Branco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
In 2015, I stepped out of my office at the Alabama Supreme Court and onto Dexter Avenue to watch the commemorative marchers. This is from Alan Mendenhall today, folks. They moved in human waves up that long sun-bleached boulevard, honoring the anniversary of Selma to Montgomery that original walk through American Fire. It was moving, generally so, until it wasn't. There he sat, a man in a lawn chair, planted on the sidewalk like something theatrical, wearing what I can only describe as a costume assembled from the wardrobe of American nightmares. A military-style uniform adorned with badges and insignias, KKK adjacent, though I couldn't be certain of the precise iconography. What struck me most was not his presence, but the media encircling him, cameras trained and clicking, as though he were the event itself rather than its parasite. I was horrified. The black woman standing next to me was not. She told me, with the weary patience of someone who has long since decoded the grammar of spectacle, that man is getting paid by the Southern Poverty Law Center to sit there and make Alabama look bad. I didn't know if she was correct. I still don't. We'll pick that up on the other side, because Alan later tells this to a reporter named Tyler O'Neill, who's now a friend of Alan's, was a stranger at the time. It's a book. That guy, Tyler O'Neill, was way ahead of all this stuff on his book on the SPLC. And, well, the stories that we heard last week, or as Trump said, Southern law. I love how he can't say it correctly. It's kind of fun. Yeah, perhaps Alan's moment there being told, yeah, that's just a paid agitator by the SPLC. Perhaps that is indeed what was going on that day, but we got to hit this top of the hour break. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
Joey Clark.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WHCV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Cole Thomas Allen, the 31-year-old suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, scheduled to be arraigned today. Allen from Torrance, California, will face charges including using a firearm during a crime of violence and assault on a federal officer, as well as other potential counts. Fast-moving storms pummeling parts of the Midwest with hail, strong wind, and heavy rain, flooding streets and leading to stranded commuters who needed to be rescued from their vehicles. More storms are on the way through Monday night. The National Weather Service forecast show more than 64 million people in the Midwest mostly are at risk of severe storms. Authorities in Ukraine say a Russian drone attack on Ukraine's southern city of Odessa has wounded 14 people. Officials say the drones hit residential neighborhoods and civilian infrastructure in that city. This is SRN News.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cameron. Is health insurance eating up your budget for 2026? If you're looking for ways to better steward your finances, consider this: Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a health insurance alternative at half the cost. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. While insurance companies tell you when to join, what to pay, and where to go, CHM is different. As a ministry, CHM allows you to share the burden of medical bills with other Christians. You can enroll, switch programs, or leave at any time. Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a world of difference. CHM has 4 flexible programs. You can pick any certified doctor, surgeon, or hospital that you want for eligible care. So make the switch. Take your paycheck back from health insurance this year. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For tough, good-looking roofs, it's Tamco Shingles from Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For great folks and great prices, call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, this week is starting off quiet, but we have a very active weather pattern ahead in the next several days. Today, a good bit of sunshine, very warm, high up to about 87. Partly cloudy, mild tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 64. We'll be in the upper 80s tomorrow, Tuesday. A sun and cloud mix with the risk of some spotty showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon. But showers and thunderstorms become likely Tuesday night and first half of the day on Wednesday. That's storm system number 1. Cooler Thursday, high in the upper 70s. Then another storm system by Friday night into Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas. Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Effective immediately, Montgomery Whitewater is halting all water activities for approximately 1 month. Whitewater officials made the announcement after it was determined the water filtration system needed maintenance. The Whitewater restaurant, ropes course, and the trail system will remain open while the maintenance is being completed. There's a new specialized law enforcement unit patrolling the streets of Montgomery. Police Chief Jim Grabois announced the Strategic Response Team began operating 6 weeks ago. Grabois said the team has served 91 felony and 55 misdemeanor warrants, in addition to over 100 traffic stops. A Wetumpka man has been sentenced to more than 12 years in prison on a drug trafficking charge. 48-year-old Michael David Wilson was sentenced to 151 months in federal prison for possession of methamphetamine with intent to distribute. Wilson was arrested last year during a traffic stop when 14 grams of methamphetamine were discovered in his vehicle. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
Don't miss the River Region Healthy Living Expo happening Thursday, April 30th from 10 to 2 at the Shops at East Chase. From senior health to total wellness, it's all here and admission is free. Learn more in the Check It Out section at WHCA.com.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. For Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You're listening to Joey Clark. Warm sound, clear sound, right here with Joey Clark. It's Joey Clark. Joey Clark.
I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
Welcome back into the program. Let's start over where we left off. Peace Out Today by Alan Mendenhall there at 1819 News. And in 2015, I stepped outside my office at the Alabama Supreme Court and onto Dexter Avenue to watch the commemorative marchers. And this was, of course, the Selma to Montgomery March being commemorated once again. Alan says he found it genuinely moving. And then he sees a man. There he sat. A man in a lawn chair, planted on the sidewalk like some theatrical thing, wearing what can only be described as a costume symbol from the wardrobe of American Nightmares. And he says what struck him most was not his presence, but the media encircling him, cameras trained and clicking, as though he were the event itself rather than its parasite. I was horrified, says Alan Mendenhall. The black woman standing beside me was not. She told me, with the weary patience of someone who had long since decoded the grammar of spectacle, that man is getting paid by the Southern Poverty Law Center, the SPLC, to sit there and make Alabama look bad. I didn't know if she was correct. I still don't. Years later, a reporter named Tyler O'Neill, a stranger then, a friend now, reached out about a book he was writing on the SPLC. I told him this story carefully with all its caveats intact. He reported it faithfully. I couldn't verify the woman's claim. Yet last week, the Department of Justice announced an 11-count fraud indictment against the SPLC, alleging that between 2014 and 2023, the organization secretly funneled at least $3 million to leaders and organizers of white supremacist and extremist groups. The very organizations the SPLC built its brand, its donor base, and its authority upon opposing. Could it be that the SPLC did not merely fight hate, that it needed hate, produced hate, circulated hate as the raw material of its own legitimacy? Could it be that the simulacrum of this civil rights organization had long since consumed the original, that what remained was a machine that generated the enemy it required, a map that manufactured the territory it claimed only to be describing? If so, then the indictment is not an aberration, but rather the revelation of the underlying logic, the moment the image confesses it was never tethered to reality at all. I've lived inside this logic before, writes Alan Mendenhall. I've felt the disorientation of a man who mid-scene realizes he's not a witness but a prop. This was at Furman University, which is just outside Greenville, South Carolina, 20-something years ago while I was an undergraduate. One night, with an evening to kill, I ended up at a nearby Waffle House, a lefty English major doing what lefty English majors do, read poetry in diners and believe sincerely in the arc of the moral universe. A cluster of older white bikers occupied the stools, heavy men with gray beards and road-worn faces. Then a group of young black teenagers entered and within minutes directed a volley of mockery at me, the preppy boy with the book, the easy, silent target. I said nothing. One of the bikers told them to leave me alone. Voices escalated. Blue lights bloomed in the parking lot. I dropped a $20 bill on the table and walked out, never speaking a word. The whole episode generated heat, theater, near violence, but I, the ostensible subject of it, had participated in none of it. I was a symbol around which other people's narratives collided. Then there was the MLK Day county council meeting in Greenville. Greenville County had created a genuine political rupture by not recognizing that holiday, and my roommate and I waited in line for what felt like hours to get inside. Two older white men in coats and ties stood behind us, the taller one vocal, the shorter one quiet, both opposed to the recognition, invoking King's extramarital affairs and communist associations with the brisk confidence of men who believed they were being reasonable. I disagreed with them, but remained polite. The Reverend Jesse Jackson was inside. I shook his hand, and he thanked me, and I felt briefly as though I were immersed in historical significance. I'll never forget what happened at the door. After all that waiting, a black woman materialized out of nowhere, wheeling a younger black man in a wheelchair, and slipped directly into the building without a moment's pause. The taller white man behind me said something like, "Excuse me, Buster," or words approximating those. The man in the wheelchair, whose arms were powerfully muscular, reached up, grabbed the old man's tie, and pulled him down into a headlock. Law enforcement moved instantly, extracting the older man, who shouted that he had been assaulted, because he had been. What followed was stranger. Cameras appeared, a black pastor materialized, and suddenly the man in the wheelchair was being framed by the surrounding crowd as a victim of racial violence. The audience that had not seen what happened received a different event entirely than the one that had occurred. Two realities occupied the same coordinates. The image had overwritten the fact. Most Americans, I sincerely believe, are not a racist people pretending to be tolerant. We're people who've been handed a simulation of racism, inflated, mass-produced, professionally maintained, and told it's the territory we presently inhabit. This is why the swindle becomes something uglier than mere fraud. The real history of American racism, the rope, the hood, the red dirt of Selma, the sadistic genius for degradation, is not a simulation. It is not a fundraising category. The men and women who walked Dexter Avenue in 1965 were not walking through a hyper-reality. They were walking through danger, and some of them did not walk back. To manufacture the specter of that suffering, to keep it artificially animated as a revenue stream, is a con and a desecration, stealing from the genuine dead to fatten the accounts of the comfortably living. Every inflated hate group listing, every stage racial conflagration, every dollar allegedly funneled to the very monsters the SPLC claimed to be slaying, cheapens the real wounds this country has spent generations trying imperfectly to heal. The SPLC understood racism before many others did, and then became its most sophisticated practitioner. For decades, it sold America a map of hatred so vivid, so meticulously detailed, so lucratively alarming, that donors never thought to ask whether the cartographer had reasons to keep the territory dangerous. Last week's indictment suggests the answer. The organization that built its empire on naming hate may have been quietly payrolling it. Why? Because without the monster, there is no monster slayer. And without the monster slayer, there's no fundraising letter, no moral authority, no machine. The watchman needs the fire. The doctor needs the disease. The SPLC did not merely fail to fight hatred. It may have tended it, watered it, kept it alive in a lawn chair on Dexter Avenue for the cameras. The map isn't the territory, but in America, the most profitable business has always been selling the map and making sure the territory never quite heals. From the desk of Alan Mendenhall, folks. And I appreciate that insight very much. Especially that's got to be quite a scene where you see like the whole framing go forth at that courthouse. It's incredible.
It is.
Absolutely incredible. 272-9228. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
It's Papa B.
Hey, Papa B. How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Pretty good, I guess. So, I guess I have sort of an uncomfortable question to ask y'all.
Okay.
And whoever might want to try to answer it. What is your confidence level that we actually get a conviction at a trial for the SPLC or anybody involved with it?
It's in the Middle District of Alabama. I actually think the odds are fairly good. Now, on later appeal, and I don't know, but like, I think, and it always depends on the case. Like, what do they actually have on this? And I think this indictment just going after the organization is going to be, there's an ongoing investigation into all the individuals involved. And you're going to see new indictments about the individuals.
Well, sure you will. I'm just saying wire fraud is, I think, forgivable by a lot of people.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, even though were the shoe to be on the other foot, it'd be an easy, kind of trial.
I'll put it this way, and maybe I'm weaseling my way out of your question, but it's a heck of a lot better chance down here than in, like, Washington, D.C.
Well, that's not really saying too much, though, Joey.
I'm a master doing that, if you haven't noticed already.
I think so, and
Yeah.
You've gotten really good at it over
Thank you,
the
sir.
years.
Thank you.
Dan taught you that. No question in my mind with that one. But no, in all seriousness, now y'all be honest and serious about this. What chances do you think that we are actually going to get a conviction, even if proven true, out of the trial?
Troy, you want to go first? Giving odds on that?
Like Joey, I think that because of where it resides in the court, being in the Middle District, there's a high degree of potentiality for a ruling that would be negative against them. However, I don't know how that will hold up further in appeals and things of that nature, just like you said.
I put it at 0 to none.
Okay. Well, then you're less optimistic than I am.
I have no. Listen, there might be some people that really find this hard to believe, but I have a lot of friends that, are black and good friends, close friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got interaction all the time. I don't even know one that would not be very forgiving.
Right.
Toward the SPLC.
Well, I think Papa B, as you say that, I've told Joey, the big thing for me is now we have to look at everything they've ever done. And have they done something good? Possibly. Sure. But let's be honest, the credibility's shot. They have no credibility now.
There is that. I mean, the negative press is big.
And also, I don't think most of their I see what you're saying, that there's sort of an appreciation for the prestige of years gone by. But I think most of their support base is not local. and it's not Alabama.
Oh, no doubt.
So,
no
like,
doubt about that.
yeah, I think that it's, let's call it a coin flip. I'm not as pessimistic as you on this.
Well, I would say this, that, in terms of, look, the Republicans have to learn how to do lawfare too.
Yeah, they do.
I hate that term, but you know what I'm talking about.
Agreed.
The draining of the resources, the capturing of the resources, the slow beating down pressure of the law, the legal will of justice, sooner or later will, start creating some cracks in the wall. And, if I were to say, not that anybody would listen to me down there, but if I were to speak advice, I would say run. If you work for the SPLC, if you've been involved with the SPLC, the best thing you can do is run as fast as you can, because I promise you there are people that will love to just let the whole wall fall down on you and let you be the scapegoat so that they can get out. That's what I would say. And in that, there may be a little bit of hope that we would find some people that would be willing to actually, be cooperating witnesses. So some possibilities there. But I saw this newscaster the other day talking about, this is going to be in Alabama. What a great thing. The SPLC has no chance. I'm like, dude, you lost your gravy.
Yeah. What do you, like, come on, man.
But it must be great to make assumptions about a state that probably people have never been in, and they still think we're sicking dogs on people.
You're right. Exactly. So, all I'm saying is, I hope they get something else besides this. Maybe there's some good things that can happen. The draining of resources and the capturing of resources is certainly going to be very painful.
Yeah.
And it should be. Bring the pain, I say. Bring the pain every step of the way that you can. And not only that, but then finding out of the rest. Because I believe that this is certainly, in my humble estimation, the tip of the iceberg. I just believe it to my core. This is a highly protected castle down here, and they have been able to do a lot of things that I don't think that they should have been able to for a very long time. But anyway, I just thought I'd sorry for no hope and change, but I think that they better get something better than this.
Well, let's end on an ironically positive note in the sense, you're probably going to get this question right. Who do you think people like Chuck Todd and other Democrats are blaming for the violence that we saw at the White House Correspondents' Dinner over the weekend?
Oh, they're probably blaming Papa B.
For sure.
Go ahead and tell me.
Trump.
It's always Trump's fault that this guy goes like ballistic, and he's clear. The psycho, he's made psycho by Trump. Trump did this. So stupid. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you, Bob B. 272-9228. Line 2, you're on there. Who's this?
Oh, okay. I'm making sure I get rid of my speakerphone. You can hear me better now, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You guys, thanks a lot for everything y'all do every day. So many people benefit from all the interaction. That's just great. It helps me a lot personally. I appreciate that. When my mom early had a job as secretary for Morris Dees, things started way back then when there were a handful of attorneys who were really trying to fight racism during that time frame. Civil justice is, of course, a real thing. Morris figured out, how do we make money doing this thing? there are many attorneys who probably are busy right now going through their filing cabinets and making the shredder machine get hot. They don't want to be involved because this goes way back. There were a lot of people who were not dirty working with Morris, fighting civil injustice. That's great. But Morris's game plan was, how do we monetize this? So this goes way back before Mark Potok, who he's probably trying to get rid of files, not on paper, but shredding in the computer, because who does that really, really good? You get a server in your own house, and you pipe everything through that server, and then you have a guy who can help white and scrub. All the data is just going to disappear. But FBI and other agencies, federal agencies, have been using SPLC as a resource and referencing their work. That's a bunch of hooey.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that if we cross our fingers, this might wind up being a RICO statute violation for the agency, SPLC. It looks to me like RICO. Possibility.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe they'll go that far with it. It depends on the Trump DOJ at that point. That's I didn't know your mother did that. That's fascinating.
Yes, sir. She had things to tell me when she came home because she was not treated nicely at all. But the attorneys, this is where I see my mom's gone. She can't say anything. But there are many attorneys that had worked with Morris back then who did not have dirty hands. And they were really trying to do something. I think there's somebody's out there going to say, well, I don't want to be caught up in this, and I don't want to be a squealer. I just disappear. But I'm going to get my shredder because I had some files I got to get rid of. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm just
No, good call.
Here.
Good call, man. Appreciate it, Crawdad.
God bless you. God bless you.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Mushroom.
Hey, Mushroom. How are you?
Hey, I had to call you in because he mentioned the name Morris Dees, and I remember him from a long time ago. This goes back to when he was 18 years old, a new college student. He learned how to scam people even at that tender an age. What he did is he noticed how the bakery shops would discount their cakes that were like a day old. He would patch them up and then get the birthdays of students at the college and have the parents resell those cakes at full price to the students.
Wow. I've heard this before. I can say this. Yeah, I've definitely heard this story. And from the very beginning, he was always coming up with some scheme.
Exactly, from the very beginning. Hey, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mushroom. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
He's an unabashed capitalist.
Or something like that.
Yeah, right.
You eating day-old cake and paying full price like it's fresh out the oven.
That's fraud.
Indeed. No, I did. Again, Jimmy Kimmel, before this whole thing happened, said something like was doing his own White House Correspondents' Dinner, like skit joke, saying, oh, Melania, the First Lady's here, and you have the glow of an expectant widow. Well, the First Lady, Melania Trump, has responded to Jimmy.
Good.
And here's what she said. Should I just read it normally, or should I do the voice?
Do it in her voice if you want.
Jimmy Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. No, I'm just going to read it normally.
Just so you know.
Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community?
Very nice.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to stop, though.
Well, you know, one of the things you and I have talked about ad nauseum offline is you get tired of the dog and pony show. You get tired of the kabuki theater, whether it be, we look at congressional hearings and senatorial hearings and all that. And this is one of those, and I think that there may be some truth to what I think Crawdad said, maybe RICO potentiality in it because of the depth and width and breadth of the operations across state lines, across telephone, across communications that are digital. It could, and here's a great test for Todd Blanche, the new DOJ AG. Let's see what you can do with this. This is, and to me, this is a softball being served up to you.
And now Trump himself getting in on the Jimmy Kimmel stuff. Wow. That's how this Truth Social post starts. Wow. Jimmy Kimmel, who is in no way funny, as attested to by his terrible television ratings, made a statement on his show that is really shocking. He showed a fake video of the First Lady Melania, and our son Barron, like they were actually sitting in his studio listening to him speak, which they weren't and never would be. He then stated, our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have the glow like an expectant widow. A day later, a lunatic tried entering the ballroom of the White House Correspondents' Dinner, loaded up with a shotgun, handgun, and many knives. He was there for an obvious and sinister reason. I appreciate that so many people are incensed by Kimmel's despicable call to violence and normally would not be responsive to anything that he said, but this is something far beyond the pale. Jimmy Kimmel should be immediately fired by Disney and ABC. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
Ain't wrong. Ain't wrong.
And the White House, I mean, they're coming out swinging. Caroline Leavitt today at the press conference, showing up with receipts. What do we mean by that? Well, here is Leavitt saying, because, of course, the reason for the violence and the increase in division stuff is obviously just Trump.
Right.
It's always Trump's fault.
Of course it is.
And, I might blame, it's politics' fault, that the more that we try to decide what our nation's going to be based on politics, and by politics, I don't just mean like voting every few years. I mean, like the daily 24/7 news cycle that is literally in the spirit of the accuser and scatterer. And it's like we're drinking from a sewer pipe every day, and this is what's supposed to actually bring us together as a nation and a people. Maybe that's what's to blame. I'm happy to put blame, it's sin on a mass consumptive scale. Like, don't get me started.
Fulton Sheen talked about this 50 years ago. You remember that?
Absolutely.
You remember when he just talked about, we now sympathize with the
false compassion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's part of this
the
game.
mugger over the mug.
That's right.
But I think it's even beyond that, to where it's like, it's false compassion certainly out there. Toxic empathy, as some call it these days. But there's also, it's just you get paid. You get clicks if you are the most uncharitable, despairing, and doubt-skeptical in the world. Faith, hope, and love out the window. Don't have faith, question everything. Don't have hope, it's all going to hell. Don't be loving and charitable to your fellow man, especially those you disagree with. Pound them into the dirt. Even if you don't have something on them, accuse them of it and make them respond and deny the false accusation.
Run through the ranks and stolen Volkswagens.
Anyway, Caroline Leavitt, of course, is going to put it all on the Democrats, but, she's got a point here, quoting them. Let's listen in.
It's not just the media. It is the entire Democrat Party has made their pitch to voters across the country that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to democracy, that he is a fascist, and that they compare him to Hitler. I mean, these are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years. And so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are truth and then are inspired to act on it. I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this month, said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time." Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said people are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids. Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. You have Rep. Presley saying, we'll see you in the streets. Rep. Monica McIver, a Democrat representative on Capitol Hill, we will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war. These are Democrat elected officials calling for war against the President of the United States and his supporters. I could go on and on, but again, when you have people in positions of power that are saying things like this every single day for years, you are inspiring violence by people who are already mentally ill. And that's what we've seen against this president for far too long.
Every one of those names are people that are just despicable.
Yeah. Well, and it's also, again, I agree with you. When you get into it, it's despicable.
It is very
but I'm like, what is this spirit? What is this thing that's feeding into everybody?
Demonic.
Yes. Like, I'm trying to get to the root of it, because it's like,
principalities.
Who's Hakeem Jeffries? Who's Elizabeth Warren? But what is being rewarded here? And why is it being rewarded?
Agreed.
Why does everybody feel this is now so necessary to say on so many fronts? Just to get people's attention? Just to stir people up just enough? Perhaps. But here is more from that press conference. Again, this is Caroline Levitt, and she's getting in on the Jimmy Kimmel action. And, there was such a good kumbaya moments after this old awful attack. Sure. And everybody was dressed to the nines. And now they're back at it with a steel chair to the back, brother.
Off the table and the turnbuckle.
Here's Caroline Levitt jumping in on Jimmy Kimmel's widow joke about Melania Trump.
Much of the manifesto of the would-be assassin is indistinguishable from the words that we hear daily from so many. For example, as the First Lady of the United States pointed out this morning, just 2 days prior to the shooting, ABC's late-night host Jimmy Kimmel disgustingly called First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow. Who in their right minds says a wife would be glowing over the potential murder of her beloved husband? And having experienced what I did with the First Lady on Saturday night, I can tell you that she was anything but that. This kind of rhetoric about the president, the First Lady, and his supporters is completely deranged, and it's unbelievable that the American people are consuming it night after night after night. As President Trump said on Saturday night at this podium, we as Americans must recommit ourselves to resolving our differences peacefully and uniting around the shared values that make our country great. The deranged lies and smears against the president, his family, his supporters have led crazy people to believe crazy things, and they are inspired to commit violence because of those words. It has to stop.
Will it stop, though? Because, again, I don't think we're dealing with, like, you and I are sitting in a room and we got to figure out a way to get along.
Right. This is
it's like we're not even treating each other as human anymore.
That's part of the problem. Is
like I'm just seeing a name, a brand, a screen, pixels on the screen,
Sure.
sort of thing.
It's easier that way.
Yep.
Dehumanizing it, just like the Nazis did, makes it easier.
Yep.
It's not genocide, it's relocation. That's what they said.
Oh, yeah, there are all sorts of manner of euphemisms and sick jokes.
Terrible.
Over the concentration camp, it said, work will set you, Auschwitz in particular,
Yes.
work will set you free. Yeah, sometimes, I love a good laugh and a good joke, even a good gallows humor bit, but be careful because the devil's got a hell of a sense of humor, too.
You ain't kidding.
Anyway, we got to hit a break. But first, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out, whether you're looking to buy a home or just get ready to buy a home. Get in the position to be confident to buy a home instead of sitting there procrastinating or going on these cheap online, quick hits like these online mortgage calculators, or you answer a 1-800 number like, hey, we can buy your house cash right now. And like, no.
Don't.
No, instead, get in touch with Alabama Home Mortgage. Go ahead and get pre-approved. That way you know how much home you can actually afford. And it could be, you need to downsize. You do need to sell your current place and buy up a new place.
Right.
Your empty nesters. Could be you're going through a divorce. Nobody likes divorce. But, maybe take one of the big headaches of a divorce off the table, which is, getting that new home. Or it could be your family's growing and you need a much bigger place. Like you could only stack the bunk beds so high. You need more rooms for the little kiddos. Well, they can help you, whatever your reasons for needing a new place. And if you're looking to refinance to maybe get debt off your back or shore up your retirement fund or just go on that dream vacation. Maybe you're a Bitcoin maxi. You've been listening to too much Michael Saylor. Whatever your goals are, they can help you out there. And especially if you're a veteran, they know the latest with the VA mortgage, and it is the best game in town, still is. If you're a veteran, you're leaving money on the table. If you have not taken advantage of the VA mortgage, let Alabama Home Mortgage let you take advantage of that today. Just call them up. Start the conversation at least at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Luke Choir.
With the seasons changing, your HVAC system is working overtime. Call Luke Choir today to schedule a tune-up with one of their expert technicians to keep your system running efficiently and reliably. Keep your home comfortable all season long. 24-hour emergency service available. License number 22154.
Call Luke Choir right now.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breaker stripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that. Because each year, thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional. like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
Congressman Barry Moore has always delivered for Alabama. As a member of the House Freedom Caucus, Barry Moore earned a score of 100 from Heritage Action for protecting our values. He's helped thousands of Alabama families, fought for our veterans as a veteran himself, and secured millions for infrastructure, first responders, and public safety. Barry Moore helped pass Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, delivering tax cuts for hardworking Alabama families, and stood strong to secure our borders. Now, Barry is taking that fight to the United States Senate. Barry Moore will defend our freedoms, defend the Second Amendment, protect our children, stand up for parents, and keep boys out of girls' sports while continuing to cut taxes and lower prices. Endorsed by President Trump, Barry Moore is a proven conservative Alabama can trust.
I'm Congressman Barry Moore. I've rolled up my sleeves in Congress, and I'll keep fighting for Alabama in the U.S. Senate. I'm Barry Moore, a conservative fighter, and I approve this message.
Approved and paid for by Barry Moore for U.S. Senate.
We know the businesses that keep our communities moving. We walk the same streets, shop the same stores, and support the same local families. Janney King franchise owners take pride in caring for the places they keep our hometown strong. With dependable service, attention to detail, and commitment to doing the things the right way, more businesses are choosing Janney King as their trusted local cleaning partner. Visit JanneyKingCleans.com today.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Well, this week is starting off quiet, but we have a very active weather pattern ahead in the next several days. Today, a good bit of sunshine, very warm, high up to about 87. Partly cloudy, mild tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 64. We'll be in the upper 80s tomorrow, Tuesday. A sun and cloud mix with the risk of some spotty showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon. But showers and thunderstorms become likely Tuesday night and first half of the day on Wednesday. That's storm system number 1. Cooler Thursday, high in the upper 70s. Then another storm system by Friday night into Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And let's go to the phones at 334-272-9228 and talk to Chicken Man. Hey, Chicken Man, how you doing?
Pretty good. All right, the White House dinner, from a few of the videos that I've seen, I've noticed a few weak spots in the security. And I keep thinking that if I notice these, weak spots, how many more weak spots do the terrorists notice?
Oh, probably a few more.
They do. For instance, Chicken Man, the way that he gained access through unmolested up to that point was he used a service escalator. I mean, steps.
Steps.
I'm sorry,
a service stairwell.
Yes, service stairwell that was not being closely monitored by security. Here's the thing: when you do PSD, it's what you don't know that gets you.
And it's why Trump and them want that ballroom, because when if you have these massive hotel convention centers, there's all sorts of little rat holes that you don't know about.
Well, it's that 99 times that we get it right, and that one time that we don't. That's what the terrorists are hoping for.
You're right.
That one time. And if I had to put a grade on the Secret Service, I mean, they're good. They did a good job by doing what they did, at that dinner. But if I had to put a grade on it, that dinner, I'd give them a C minus. And of course, the Butler, Pennsylvania, I'd give them an F.
Oh, that was
intentional.
That is still not answered to anybody's satisfaction, including, I think, the president, and he's just stopped talking about it for some reason.
Well, I just hope that that the powers that be are listening, because the terrorists are watching and they're taking the notes.
Yep.
I hate to say that, but it's true. The terrorists are still watching.
It is true.
Absolutely.
Man, you're spot on.
Especially some radical Shiites right now. They probably have reason to be pissed.
Sure they do. Yeah.
Well, I just hope the Secret Service, they do need more training. I mean, we all do, to live our better lives. But the training and their equipment, they need better equipment. That at that hotel, they didn't have the proper equipment that they needed. Well, y'all have a good day.
Appreciate it, man. 272-9228. Coming up, we have a little bit of Rubio sitting down talking about the latest in Iran. King Charles has just landed in the United States for a state visit. So doing it up big for the king. Return of the king.
Yeah. He is no Aragorn.
Yeah, I know. I think that, I'm not joking. The only thing that saves that country is the return of a proper king.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
And I don't mean like chopping off everybody's heads, because Henry VIII was not a proper king. He was insecure, and thus why was a bloody tyrant. But like a proper king, heck, I'll take a queen like Elizabeth I. Like, I think that's the only thing that brings those people back.
I can't agree with you more. I think that there needs to be a return to the monarchical imperial dynasty of the greatness that was once
and then you
United
see
Kingdom.
where the Episcopal, where the Church of England is.
Oh yeah.
And did you see that the new woman, Bishop of Canterbury, was met with the Pope, and the Pope, in very nice Pope speaks like, we will keep trying to, bridge this divide, but there, even with all these very irreconcilable differences, like you being a bishop.
I'm even talking to you.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like, what a mess our mother country, if we can even still call it
It
that.
was at one time, and it's, to me, I think, and this is what we were talking the other night over at Brian's Dawson's, that nouveau apologetic, liberal, white British. We have to atone for all the sins of all of our empire and all of our things, has created an inverse effect on what they wanted, and that's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I think you can have a recognition of the warts while also recognizing all the accomplishments.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Let's be honest. There was a time, Joey, when the sun never set on the British Empire.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing if you think about that.
Yeah, and it's easy to admit, like, when they started, now they weren't as bad as the Spanish, but when they started, they were a bunch of pirates, essentially. Yeah, the British Navy in particular.
Oh, yeah.
Like, y'all are a bunch of, excuse me, pardon me, poison bastards. But you were ruthless, and you got the job done.
Yep.
But what the culture that comes out of that, the advancements that come out of that, and honestly, you got to wonder if Europe, for as much as we can blame the left and sort of the self-flagellating, and I think there is that dynamic. There's a lot of that going on. Imagine if Europe had not committed suicide in the First and Second World War. I think that's what allowed a lot of this sort of Marxist, weird
globalist crap.
Reduced down form Christ without the cross sort of thing that's out there to really take hold. I think Europe could have continued on in a way that was more traditional for a long, long time, but we got what we got, and it's a shame.
And I think for continental Europe, from the continent versus what was once an offshore counterbalance, being the United Kingdom, to be able to help balance the ebbs and valleys and the flows and all the things that happen in their history, that doesn't exist anymore. England's got its own problems.
Yeah, and I don't know. Lately, that idea has come to me. Before we blame any like radical leftists or any of this, that, or the other, or immigration, we should always remember the Psalm. And it's easy to forget now. We're 100+ years hence.
like that meat grinder of World War One in particular, like the insanity of
War to
what
end all
happened there.
wars. Yeah.
Anyway, the king's in town, the king's in country. King Charles greeted ahead of the visit. Yeah, they're doing up big. Is
They
that
are.
the color guard there?
Yeah,
And-
they're at Andrews Air Force Base, obviously. Yep, Andrews. Color guard. They got the executive color guard with the British Union Jack and the American Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, and then they're doing it upright, all right.
There's Camellia, and there's the king.
I liked it when kings wore fancy clothes, not just suits. But anyway, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
When your tax refund comes, put it on the floor and walk on it. Revitalize the look and feel of your home with new floors from Prattville Carpet. With faster and better service than the big box stores and luxury vinyl planks starting as low as $4.99 per square foot. You'll enjoy that tax refund turned flooring every single day.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Dial 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
At Blue Water Broadcasting, we believe great advertising starts with relationships. That's why so many local business owners trust us, not just for radio, but for digital too. If you're already running digital advertising and you're not seeing results, it may be time to explore your option. Our team takes the time to understand your business, then builds custom campaigns using a multi-channel conversion-focused approach. So whether it's digital display, social media, or you need help increasing your online presence, Blue Water Broadcasting can help. Before your next campaign, let's have a conversation. Visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Joey. How are you?
Oh, life is good. I got Troy Carrico here in the studio with me.
It's Monday. Remember, Mike, it's Monday. No, Joe, just me. Not Eddie.
Two Musketeers,
Not Eddie.
not
I know,
three.
the two Musketeers. Yeah, right. We're 2/3 of a tripod.
Yeah, we're leaning that way today. But how I've been asking everybody, how are the allergies treating you right now?
Man, let me tell you, I was out of town and I had no allergy issues, and I came back and I have them. So,
Oh yeah, man, they're out with a vengeance. This part. You want to talk about the trip? See anything cool on that trip?
I tell you, I was in San Diego, and it was part of our buying group deal. So they had some classes, but then on Wednesday and Thursday, they took us on field trips. And we went to two manufacturers, and we saw some ungodly stuff that both manufacturers did. But the coolest one was a speaker manufacturer, and they actually gave us demos. They had some incredible demo rooms with invisible speakers, with visible speakers, but they showed us different ways of installing speakers and giving you great sound, because everybody loves music.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is you want to have music where it's not the focal point, and you can still have a conversation with your family or your friend or whoever's there. So it gives you a lot different perspective on how to have everything installed and to get the proper coverage. They also had some really incredible amplifiers that they make. And anyway, the speakers were just amazing, the way that they work, and some of them the way that they install, and how hidden they actually become, because you can wallpaper over them, you can paint over them. So, I mean, they truly disappear.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The other company was more into the control side of it. They made garage door openers, they made gate openers, they made doorbells. They made just a plethora of equipment that can go all over your home. And then they sell the stuff that also can control it, but a lot of it is universal. So any company, Control4 can control a lot of their equipment as well.
Folks, Cohen's Electronics and Appliances has been around for over 6 decades, but there's always more to learn. And it's those sort of field trips, those sort of trips where you keep finding the latest products and stocking up those latest products there. But of course, it's that insight, the service that comes along with the great products at Cohen's, whether you're looking to have brand new speakers and audio solutions, or you're looking for a new refrigerator or washer dryer unit, they have your back there at Cohen's. You can always check them out online at thinkcohens.com. or call them direct at 277-8890. But I really encourage you to stop by. 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you talking about your field trip with Joey.
That's right. Yeah. Come ask us some questions. Let us ask you some questions, and let us help you make the right decision for whatever your needs are.
Well, I'm glad you're back in one piece. Sorry about the allergies. Everybody else, I'm fit as a fiddle.
It's great to be Joey. I've said it before, Mike. It's great to be Joey Clark.
And watch me get all froggy in the last hour.
Yeah. Look at Joey being a fiddle player.
Thanks, Michael.
Y'all have a good day.
See you, sir.
I've always suspected that boy likes to play the fiddle.
Hey, remember that time you did that solo? I thought your solo was better of the two when you did it against the Devil over in Georgia.
That's still a great song.
That's a great song, man. Are you kidding me?
Anyway,
great song.
We'll be right back. Final hour coming up.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WHCV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Saturday night's attack during the White House Correspondents Association dinner, the third violent episode involving President Trump in less than 2 years. The White House has not commented on additional security measures, but more thorough screening and possibly bulletproof glass at public Trump events could be coming. Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old suspect in the dinner shooting, is now being arraigned in a Washington court. Iran has offered to end its control over the Strait of Hormuz if the U.S. lifts its blockade and ends the war. The proposal that emerged would delay discussions on Iran's nuclear program, and President Trump seems unlikely to accept the offer. A level 4 out of 5 intense tornado threat is now in place for parts of the Midwest. This is SRN News.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-0141. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-0141. That's 800-583-0141.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Well, this week is starting off quiet, but we have a very active weather pattern ahead in the next several days. Today, a good bit of sunshine, very warm, high up to about 87. Partly cloudy, mild tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 64. We'll be in the upper 80s tomorrow, Tuesday. A sun and cloud mix with the risk of some spotty showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two in the afternoon. But showers and thunderstorms become likely Tuesday night and first half of the day on Wednesday. That's storm system number 1. Cooler Thursday, high in the upper 70s. Then another storm system by Friday night into Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
1819 News.
For Andrea Tice, I'm Carl Brady. Tensions flared Thursday night during a meeting of the Tuscaloosa County Republican Party as members failed to pass a motion to hold a new election for chairman. The proposal came up during new business, with critics arguing current chairman Quentin Rowe lacked the time, direction, and effort to grow the local party or support candidates. Rowe pushed back, saying concerns should have been brought to him directly. State Representative Ron Bolton of Northport spoke strongly against the motion, warning that internal division could hurt Republicans as Democrats attempt to come back. The debate grew heated, with members clashing over leadership and unity. In the end, the motion failed, falling short of the required 2/3 vote. More Alabama news coming after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
Alabama Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth advised other outdoorsmen to proceed with caution after he recently tested positive for Rocky Mountain spotted fever. The disease, which is caused by the bite of a tick infected with a specific bacteria, is relatively rare, with between 6,000 and 7,000 cases reported in the U.S. every year. Symptoms include high fever, headaches, lack of appetite, muscle pain or soreness, nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, sensitivity to light, and a distinct rash. The disease can be dangerous or fatal if not treated. They look like jellyfish, but they're not. Portuguese man-of-war are washing up on Alabama beaches. Experts say don't touch them. Their tentacles can carry hundreds of stingers, and they can still sting even after they're dead. If you're headed to the beach, watch for purple warning flags and check with lifeguards before getting in the water.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call. 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
This is the Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Stop playing with it.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of the program here on a Monday, and I now want to go to the desk of Troy Carrico. He's got another op-ed out, and this is on the Alabama Department of Mental Health.
And on veterans, mental health crisis.
Okay.
Yes. It's called A Foolish Consistency. I frankly do not understand how my own state of Alabama sometimes works, and nowhere is that more obvious than on the topic of mental health. Just about everyone who looks into mental health programs, Joey, run by the state, particularly those run by the ADMH, the Alabama Department of Mental Health, comes away with a general disbelief at how inefficient and ineffective their expenditures are. Forbes magazine, hardly a radical liberal rag that so many conservatives like me rightfully tend to blame for critical and often wrong analysis, has objectively looked at ADMH's management of the state's mental health system with blistering results. And I have a link to that in there for you to read. Other national studies continue to rank Alabama at or near the bottom among the states when it comes to mental health services. Again, I have a link to that there too. The state's government's own Alabama Commission for the Evaluation of Services, ACES, which is kind of a doge, if you will, for the state, recently issued a scathing report on ADMH's running of the state's expensive crisis centers. As I previously analyzed, which I have a link there on that as well. Several media outlets have recently reported on the state's antiquated certificate of need process run by the state's health planning agency that makes it virtually impossible for many in the private sector to address critical mental health needs in Alabama. Let me just back up for a second. That certificate of need, Joey, is the one thing that the state issues to give private sector treatments to have validity here. So it's a big deal. They control that. Let's see here. Even independent commentators in the press have recently analyzed how state and ADMH spends quote, read waste on mental health services. And there's a link to that as well via its monopolistic contractors. Seemingly everyone who looks into this broad topic walks away in disbelief at the horrible results, waste, and mismanagement. The most egregious example of misdirected spending by the state and the ADMH is in the arena of mental health for the state's military veterans. Don't get me started on Governor Ivey and ADMH Commissioner Kim Boswell's war on veterans and their sabotage of past efforts to fund existing veteran mental health programs via the private non-for-profit sector. Not to mention their illegal removal of the previous commissioner of the ADVA, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and that's Kent Davis, for challenging those damaging efforts. Beyond those travesties, Joey, the state has a golden opportunity to fund successful and efficient veteran mental health programs via the opioid settlement process. As a background, the Alabama Attorney General succeeded in settling claims with opioid manufacturers and distributors to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. I've heard it's upwards in $800 million. Those funds were to be used for opioid addiction prevention and treatment programs. A large portion of the money was also to be distributed to the Oversight Commission on Alabama Opioid Settlement Fund, chaired by State Representative Rex Reynolds. In late 2023, the State Board of Veterans Affairs, before it was emasculated by Governor Ivey and her minions in the legislature last year in retaliation for its backing of the previous commissioner, unanimously passed a resolution asking the Oversight Commission on Alabama Opioid Settlement Funds to designate 25% of the total opioid settlement to be allocated to the ADVA, to the Veterans Affairs Office, to work on behalf of Alabama service members. Veterans and their families affected by the opioid crisis. Reynolds, however, did not even have the courtesy to respond to the SBVA resolution and summarily rejected the request. There are also indications that he promised several Veterans Affairs officials that significant portions of the opioid settlement money would indeed be earmarked for the veteran community. But he failed to follow through on those promises, apparently under pressure from the Commissioner of Mental Health, Kim Boswell. Other efforts to effectively assist veterans were similarly shut down as well, but both Ivey and the ADMH continued to back insignificant and even illegal efforts on veterans' mental health issues. And again, I got links in that receive relatively little funding and merely duplicate existing programs. Political theater at its worst. Moreover, for the past 2 years, Reynolds has simply continued funneling the vast majority of the opioid settlement money to ADMH while it continues to largely ignore the plight of veterans who are significantly more likely to be addicted to opioids and to take their own lives via suicide. As recently as 2 months ago, Reynolds arranged for funneling another $26 million to ADMH with no funds earmarked for the veteran community. As usual, is it any coincidence that Reynolds chose the funding path after he was named, quote, legislator of the year by a group associated with the same ADMH system? Meanwhile, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs just released its latest report on veteran suicide, and the statistics were quite bleak for Alabama, second to last. Repetitive, politically motivated funding to horribly ineffective programs and agencies is not the answer to taking care of our veterans, nor for any taxpayer spending for that matter. Ralph Waldo Emerson was correct. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. Only this foolish consistency and the petty politics played by the folks such as Ivey, Boswell, and Reynolds are literally killing our veterans. They have blood on their hands. They should be ashamed.
Troy Kirkhoff, folks. Yeah, and issue that you won't let go of and you shouldn't let go of. No. Kind of crazy.
Suicide. It's terrible.
It's crazy. And especially when folks pat themselves on the back and you still see the result.
Let me share something with you that the Admiral shared when we were over at Faulkner University working with their veterans. They're starting up a veteran counseling program for training people. And since 9/11, we've lost, and I think I may have shared this before, but I want to hammer this again. We lost approximately 5,000 people during 9/11 when the towers came down, and some people died later as a result of exposure and stuff like that. Then we lost about 1,600 during the 2003 invasion of Iraq, and then we lost about another 1,000 plus in Afghanistan. So let's just call it shy of 10,000 people. Do you know how many veterans have killed themselves since 9/11? Over 300,000.
Goodness.
That's conservative, according to the Admiral. But we don't hear about that. What travesty is that?
No.
10,000 people, and it's, the government's terrible and derelict, but what about these veterans that are killing themselves? And it's not just veterans, it's their family members too.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and it's something you need, the practical political programs, but this is, again, a lot of the problems we see in our society is a deep spiritual problem. And
amen.
When you hear that number, that's where my mind goes.
It's terrifying.
It's crazy.
Terrifying.
Let's go to Jim. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
All right today, Mr. Joy.
Doing all right.
Yeah, back on the President Trump thing Saturday night, I hadn't caught how many feet, when you see the man on TV with he's laying him on the ground with his shirt off, how close did the man get to the actual room? Was he 10 foot, 100 foot, or do you know?
I don't know the actual how far away he was, but it sounded like where he was the magnetometer area, and that would have been a little bit off the ballroom. Like, you can hear the gunshots go off from the footage of cameras on the president up on the dais. So I don't think he was like right on top of it. Trump said in that press conference right after the night of that there were several more layers of security at the door to the room and, undercovers at tables all over the place, covering the perimeter.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think in terms of actual footage, my guess would be it wasn't that far away from the sounds of the gunshots on camera.
Yeah, he was getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And looks like all the guys, he happened to catch, from what I can tell, the security men, the government men, actually had their backs turned when he come through their little alley, didn't they? They just happened to have the back turned.
Oh yeah, because he was sprinting like Speedy Gonzalez.
And how'd they miss him that close shooting? They need the shotguns. They wouldn't have missed him. But they might need target practice today. But anywho, I just never heard the actual footage. Was he like within 100 foot of the door? But sounds like he had to go another floor. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and right now, actually, literally happening live, the Attorney General Todd Blanche is laying out more details. So I think there's more coming out now.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe I can catch it tonight. Mr. Joy, enjoy the show as always.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, sir. 272-9228. And on that note, Senator Brett gave an interview with Alabama Morning News with JT. Actually, pretty good broadcaster. And she said, this is the third attempt on the president's life in just a few short years. This must end. It is the despicable rhetoric that leads to this. What the people need to understand on the left is when they vilify and say threat to democracy, and they say that we were at war with these people, there are people who are unstable that then take that and run with it. We saw that happen yet again, and there is absolutely no excuse for continuing this behavior. Katie Britt went on to say, we can disagree on policy all day long, and let's do that. Let's talk about it. Let's put it in front of the American people. Let's let the American people see both sides of it, and let's figure out a pathway forward. But this vilification, even afterwards, it tells you how deranged these individuals are. They had signs after this attempt outside saying death to tyrant and all kinds of stuff. This is a sad moment yet again for the United States of America. She ended with, political violence is no place in our democracy, and we should all be able to stand up and say loudly and then back it up. Say that loudly and then back it up with behavior that supports that. Yeah, we should.
We should.
But will we? Yeah, that's the question that remains. No, and I think that is some of what's going on, too. A lot of these folks that use some of the most heated stuff, they ain't going to do it themselves.
No.
But I do sometimes wonder how much folks want the sort of inciting events.
There's so much vitriol and angst and just general negative tenor. And again, we know that it's divine. It's propagated by dark forces.
Yeah, I think it's...
we got to get our spirits right, man.
Exactly right. And I think, to me, also, part of it's just technology and how we use technology. You can't just blame the things that, don't have an actual intellect and will and all this stuff. But it's not like the X is responsible for your own behavior. But the way people use technology, especially to consume information these days, there's something deeply, deeply disturbed about it in many cases. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's almost like we're given a tool too powerful for our moral sensibilities.
What could possibly go wrong, Joey?
Who would have thunk it? Oh, there's a new op-ed out from Coach saying Doug
Morgan.
Jones is wrong. Social Security is a complete scam. Interesting.
Yeah, I think him and Morgan co-wrote that, I believe.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, my name is Ryan. Appreciate the show and your topics. I just had a question. There's so many things that you guys are covering in this episode that, feel as a citizen that I want to be able to do something more than just be informed about the issues. But it seems like that in recent years, while technology has moved to a place where they can inform people better, faster, easier, they also seem to have shifted out of giving people an apparatus to actually take action in practical ways that you feel satisfied by contributing to a conversation that isn't really something that is making change legislatively. Or, it used to be you could go and people would go and talk to their congressman or, hey, everyone in this area, call, and it would make a difference. But it feels as a citizen in these recent years like there's not really an apparatus or a movement other than just there's conversations. And so my question to you guys who are more present in this sphere, are there apparatuses here in the state for us as citizens to be able to do something more than participate in a conversation, but to go and make a difference in the legislation that's beyond, the generic term, your vote? Who do we contact? What organizations exist in the state that are doing something?
You're asking a great question, truly a great question. It's the right question. My best answers were working on it. In particular, this gentleman sitting here in the studio with me, Troy Carrico, was really trying on that very issue that he just discussed in that op-ed. And it's one thing to call a radio show, write an op-ed, or a letter to the editor sort of thing. If you tried to even go direct to the source, what was your experience, Troy?
It was. And is this Ryan King?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy. I just met him down in Mobile. I hooked him up with the Admiral. He is a community activist. He is a former missionary. He's got a mission. He's on a mission from God. He just moved here from Charlotte. Very intelligent. And I shared with you, remember that night I shared with you about SB 67 and how they gutted all of the Veterans Affairs and put in political appointees now. And it's become a farce. So to answer your question, I think the best advice I could give to you, and I know you are working with some community activists down in Mobile, I would say this: grassroots works. Grassroots Basic 101 works, but it requires a good footprint, an organization that allows you to do that. And places like Vets Recover down in Mobile that I'm going to hook you up with the Admiral. There's a lot of community outreach there. So I would advise you to go to that.
And you might not see the harvest until 5 years later,
Absolutely.
10 years later, but it'll happen. And then if you already have experience in ministry, I think the power of prayer is what we need most and where you can actually feel the most difference, even if it's just simply sitting down with somebody, sharing a meal, getting to know them, getting to know their heart. It's not just a normal conversation when you take it to that level. And I think that's fundamentally why is everybody so deaf to the things that used to be effective is I think we've lost that foundation. And so it's a combination of things, but going direct to the source, like going over to Goat Hill, maybe with the new State House would be better, but it's like talking to a wall.
It's and you know what, you're not wrong by saying that there is a malaise, that it's what difference does it make kind of for some people. But if we do nothing, then it is certain that things will be not to our liking, and we must do something. And starts, I think, grassroots. Like for instance, tonight the River Region Veterans Council will be meeting. Nice. We last Monday of every month. Keith, our friend that comes on occasionally, we have over 100 people, and the Admiral will be there. He'll be back with you guys in Mobile tomorrow, and I know you guys are planning on getting together. That is a grassroots organization that is out there doing good things for the veteran and their family community. So. You've got a great opportunity here, Ryan. I think your story is great. I'll share it with Joey afterwards. But you are under God. You're on the potter's wheel. You're on the potter's wheel, and I know you're going to do great things. And the Admiral will help you get in touch with the right people down there.
Well, thank you guys very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for patroning us, man.
Thank you, sir.
He's a fine young man from Indiana.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes time. That's where my mind went is you want results like today.
Sure we do.
We want it to be like, used to be people were thinking of like, things would be resolved in a 30-minute sitcom.
Sure.
People don't even sit down for a 30-minute sitcom anymore. Like you want it resolved within 2 minutes, 90 seconds.
You're right.
And then what's strange is too, you do now have this era of conversation, to Ryan's point, of the long, thoughtful, deep conversations that also exist. So I think that is laying the foundation and planting the seeds, especially the ones built first in faith, and then sort of the general respect for one another and understanding one another in a charitable way.
Sure.
That is planting long-term seeds of success. Just in the short term, though, it does sound very signifying nothing. I mean, it really can, like the daily grind, that sewer pipe of social media is indeed discouraging, but don't be discouraged.
That's right. Take hope.
Yeah. And also, I would say a lot of political change starts in the home. Like if you do the right things in your own life,
if you're spiritual,
a lot will follow from that, and you will be shown the right way to go. Anyway, we got to hit a break here. First, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that great team are ready to help you get rid of those bugs.
Oh.
And they are around, this place I was at that I won't describe what it is at all. There's these carpenter bees just buzz around. Those suckers
they're bad. And the other day, these flying ants were all over my yard. And then these Japanese aphid, they look like cotton balls, but they're bugs. It's strange. Really? I was like, need to get them out here.
Japanese aphid.
Yeah, they call it Japanese. They're fake. They're the larva of the fake looking ladybug that's orange and black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were all over my yard.
Yeah, and where we were sitting the other night, like some of the flying ants and stuff.
Around.
Yeah, like, it could be more of the standard stuff, too, like cockroaches or fire ants you want to get rid of, or a huge wasp nest that's been built up in the back shed, or right over the front door, even.
Or right over the couch that I was sitting on when you were talking to me. You go, there's a wasp. There's a wasp up there.
You notice I do have a psychological
you've got a wasp radar, man. You're
I can't help it. I
incoming
can't
bogey,
unsee it.
incoming bogey.
I keep reliving the moment. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of health care you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients. From making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly, to getting to know you and your family's needs, and following up on any questions you may have, Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
With spring officially here, Pizza Perfect has sprung a great deal for April. Get a free order of breadsticks or cinnamon sticks with the purchase of any large or medium pizza. That'll make the whole family smile. Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
Alabama weather will never fail to surprise you. Our lawns hardly get a chance to have any downtime. This year, save the hard work and aggravation and call Alabama Lawns, the River Region's leader in weed control and fertilization services. What makes Alabama Lawns the River Region's best? It's the people. They have the experience, education, and commitment to customer satisfaction. Ask your neighbors. Alabama Lawns has been the Montgomery Advertiser's Reader's Choice Award winner 14 years in a row. The Alabama Lawn staff is made up of long-term employees and agronomy graduates, and the staff at Alabama Lawns attend annual continuing education classes. It pays to have someone that knows southern grass types and how to keep them green and flourishing. Call Alabama Lawns today at 272-7171 and let them show you real value in lawn maintenance service. Alabama Lawns, the company with black trucks and green lawns.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WHCA. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, work for the best in the business.
Rich Thomas Weather.
All is quiet for now, but we have some active times looming in the future here. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild. Overnight low temperature down to about 64. Tomorrow, another very warm day. Tuesday's high temperature in the upper 80s with a sun and cloud mix and maybe some spotty thunderstorms by Tuesday afternoon. But showers and storms become likely Tuesday night into Wednesday. Some of those storms could be strong. Then cooler by Thursday and another storm system towards Friday night into Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And let's get a little bit of what's been happening live here with the Attorney General and U.S. Attorney Pinero, or however, Judge Janine Pirro.
Yes.
And, U.S. Attorney Pirro. Let's, first, this is Todd Blanche clip from the press conference that is still ongoing. Let's listen in.
I want to make this clear. This man was a floor above the ballroom with hundreds of federal agents between him and the President of the United States.
So, Jim, there's your answer there.
Yep. The Department of Justice approaches incidents like this with urgency and clarity of purpose. Violence has no place in civic life. It cannot and will not be used to disrupt democratic institutions or intimidate those who serve them, and it certainly cannot continue to be used against the President of the United States. We are investigating this matter fully. We will apply the law fairly, and we will ensure that accountability is swift and certain. But we also should recognize what did not happen. Law enforcement did not fail. They did exactly what they are trained to do. This was not an accident. It was the result, as we know now, of preparation. But the men and women who protected us that night were trained, professional, and had an enduring commitment to the rule of law. Today, the Department of Justice filed 3 federal charges in United States District Court against Cole Thomas Allen. The first count is attempted assassination of the President of the United States. This count is punishable by up to life in prison. The second count is interstate transportation of a firearm to commit a felony. This is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. And the third count is discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence, which is punishable by a mandatory minimum term of imprisonment of 10 years, a maximum of life, and the 10 years is consecutive to any other sentence imposed.
So,
pretty
he's going to be there for a long time.
He's going to be,
No doubt about that. He's definitely going to be there for a second. And now let's get to U.S. Attorney Pirro. She had a comment or two about this, as well as we got Kash Patel coming up in just a moment. First, let's get to famously Judge Janine on Fox News. But even when I asked Andrew Napolitano, Judge Knapp, about it,
what's he say?
No, she's a serious woman. Like she's not
like,
just a TV character.
She's like, well, she's
yeah, like
scary.
she
She's
really
scary.
knows her stuff. She knew her stuff as a judge. So
awesome.
let's listen in.
Cole Allen's journey of accountability in the criminal justice system starts today. Todd Blanche just indicated to you the charges. Those charges are only 3 charges that are in the complaint that has been presented in federal district court about an hour ago. There will be additional charges as this investigation continues to unfold. But make no mistake, this was an attempted assassination of the President of the United States, with the defendant making clear what his intent was. And that intent was to bring down as many of the high-ranking cabinet officials as he could. This is the kind of situation that we cannot tolerate. And as the Attorney General has just indicated, it could have been so much worse, but for the reality that we had the Secret Service, as well as the Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI. Now, the facts make it very clear what this intent was. You may recall that it was on March 2nd that the president indicated that he would be attending this public event at the Hilton. And on April 6th, that's when Cole Allen first made a hotel reservation at the Washington Hilton for 3 nights, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. It was on April 21st that he traveled all the way from the West Coast, from his home near LA. He gets to Chicago on April 23rd, and has been indicated he arrives in DC on the 24th, and he checks into the hotel at about 3 p.m. He stays overnight. He is very much aware that the president and the first lady entered the ballroom at 8 p.m. And it was at 8:40 that he made a decision to rush the ballroom. And thank goodness, law enforcement, the Secret Service, was able to prevent him from getting into that ballroom.
So yeah, but a floor away. So the gunshots sound close in those videos that we have, but it appears they were able to stop this.
She sounds like, where's my pack of Virginia Slims at? She's a rough one.
Yeah, be a doll. Go get
Yeah, go get me some of them Slims.
Give me a cigarette.
she seems like she's no nonsense.
Now here is the FBI director, Cash Patel.
Cash.
The president spoke on late Saturday evening with a message of unity and a backing of law enforcement, and we have followed through on that message of unity and the effectuation of law enforcement across this country. This FBI is grateful to the United States Secret Service, the Department of Homeland Security, and our interagency partners, including the Metropolitan Police Department, for swiftly jumping into action. All of us on there put us in a unique position, but all of us also acted uniquely. The Washington field office jumped into action immediately, sending a mobile command center to the scene, along with our evidence response technicians, who showed up in speedy fashion to make sure we could collect the evidence that the prosecutors and the department needed to make this announcement today. Also on scene, you were told about the brave heroics of the United States Secret Service and other members of law enforcement. And that should be celebrated by every single American. They did exactly what they were trained to do. They stopped a massive attack from becoming even worse. They stood in the way, they safeguarded America, and they should be nothing but applauded for their bravery and their dedication to their mission and their selfless sacrifice to this country.
So there you go.
Amen.
You can see they're already trying to combat the online chatter.
Of course they are.
But I'm not surprised that's where the chatter has gone. Let's go to Joey from Prattville. Hey, how you doing, man?
Oh, if I was any better, I'd be a twin.
What's on your mind today?
Hey, well, they have these different... Here, let me turn my Bluetooth off real quick so I have a little feedback. All right, is that better?
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
All right. So you already got the different conspiracy theories starting with that this was a setup, that he did it, to help this, that, and the other, to get the ballroom built and all that, and you got Fetterman chiming in. Well, I got a conspiracy theory. Actually, I got a little bit of fact. if this guy in jail ends up getting Epsteined, okay, then this was an inside job. Because if he would have been paid, conspiracy, if he was paid, promoted to do this, if he was like a sleeper cell agent, from that, what was that little group thing he was part of?
Oh yeah, the
Wide Awakes.
Wide Awakes, yeah.
Wide Awakes, okay? If it's some type of big funneling with, the conspiracy backing, they were counting on him to get killed on the scene, which didn't happen. I'm kind of upset about that. Did you hear all the different? You didn't see the videos of all the shots fired by different Secret Service. Nobody hit
Not
this
very
man.
good. Not very good, is it?
I mean, right? Get back on the training field, gentlemen.
Yep.
I mean, they need to go to the range. That was horrible. I mean, he ain't even have a shot in him, laying on the ground naked up under some tinfoil. I mean,
Well, I agree with you.
So check it out. I have a good friend that was working Secret Service. He retired just a year ago. Like many federal agencies that are federal law enforcement, 1810, 1811, in the job code, the only time they go to the range is once a year to annually qualify. That's a perishable skill, and it was very evident. It perished with a lot of them. So.
Very evident in Paris. I mean, because our military, when they're not deployed in action somewhere, them gentlemen are on the range quite
all
regularly.
the time. If you're in the infantry, like I was.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've done a bunch of underground work on some fire mains over on old Fort Benning.
Yeah.
I mean,
You ever been to Harmony Church? You remember Harmony Church?
Yes, sir.
That's the old part, ain't it, man? This is World War II barracks. That's what I went through. Yeah.
I run some new fire and water mains all the way down the side of that, runway. So I've had to stop work for tanks to drive by. I mean, these gentlemen train.
Yes,
I mean, why is Secret Service? But back to my point, if he gets Epstein, then there's no way in the world you can't convince me this wasn't an inside job.
I don't think you're wrong there.
Yeah, it'd be nice. No,
I don't think you're wrong at all.
You can.
Okay.
I mean, you have a right to be convinced or not convinced, and certainly. And
You're on to something.
if you can't protect the person that you have in custody,
Yeah.
that's always suspicious as
Sure
hell.
it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, because he's going to talk. That myself, I've been to prison. That little dude I seen in them pictures
You're gonna get ate alive.
is
ain't you?
going to crack in prison.
Yep.
He is going to cop every plea bargain he can to get out. And the only way you shut him up from testifying is to kill him.
That's right.
So if he gets Epstein, I have some really big questions about this whole situation.
Interesting.
I appreciate the questions and the thoughts. Thanks, man.
Thank you, brother.
272-9228. Again, that's 334-272-9228. Again, the Attorney General, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says officers responded without hesitation. But it almost seems like the Acting Attorney General is getting more done than the former Attorney General.
I agree. I think that's why the switch occurred. Yeah.
Violence won't be used to intimidate us. Yeah, and I mean, you also saw how quickly people were being snatched up of the very important, the principled protections that were there. And apparently Pete Hegseth, Trump was saying, he didn't want any help, but, they helped him out anyway.
Ran to the sound of gunfire.
Yeah. No, I'd imagine just Pete is not one to...
No, he's not going to shy away.
Yeah. And I love the photo, and you find the small things in the midst of this. Everybody's freaking out. The First Lady's freaking out. I can't remember the reporter, I think with ABC, the pretty Asian woman.
Yeah.
She's freaking out. But then Trump is just like, is it happening again?
I've been through this.
Is this my time?
They'll miss.
There does have to be. What's the old Churchill quote? There's nothing more exhilarating than being shot at and not and miss. There's.
I would say the one thing that's actually more exhilarating is to survive.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Yeah,
but you're good enough, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you go through enough where you're like, and honestly, if you're Trump or Vance at this point and you don't wish it, you kind of have to be at peace,
right,
with the possibility that it'll happen.
Yep.
And there's an interesting think it was Glenn Beck.
Yeah.
Heard this from where Beck was trying to talk to him about the possibility he could be killed. This was before Butler.
I remember this.
And Trump just kept waving while, no, don't even say it. Don't even think it. And he was being serious. Don't put that out there. And it kind of gets a little bit into what Trump's like. What does he really believe at the end of the day? And I think he does really believe in the power of just like the will, imagination, like what you put out in the world is a bit what you get back.
I think.
And and the good, the bad, and the ugly of what he puts out into the world. And I think he doesn't like to wallow on the negative possibilities. No wonder he's been able to climb so high. Because if you were instead wallowing or catastrophizing on everything that could go wrong, there's no way you would build what he's built. So, just seeing that clip, Trump is as cool as a cucumber there, sitting there like, oh, it looks like it's happening again. Yeah. The vice president looked a little freaked out.
He did. He looked a little. I mean, you got to figure he's got to think about what
his kids.
Yeah. Well, not only that, just what if being thrust into that position if something
that
too. That's some pretty heavy.
Well, and also it's unfair to judge a complete reaction when somebody like a strong man grabs you by the shirt and yanks you up out of a chair. Yeah. Who knows what your face is going to be like? You're like, oh, what's going on here?
Hey.
And to his credit, the VP got up pretty quick and understood the program and got out of there.
He did. I think the takeaway is that there is a heightened degree of security now and understanding what the threats are. And of course, a year and a half now into his administration, he's able to have effectively filtered out most of the trash and the ash and the trash from the Secret Service. So,
well, we got to hit this break. More news and views.
Yep.
After this,
he may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WHCA.
Hunger doesn't always look the way you think, but it's closer than you realize. On Saturday, May 9th, join the Budget Bites battle at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank and turn awareness into action. Teams will go head-to-head, creating a full meal for $5 per person or less in just 60 minutes. Every $1 raise provides 5 meals for neighbors in need. Now we need you. Register your team today at hafb.org. Deadline is May 2nd. Be part of the solution. Cook with purpose, fight hunger one meal at a time.
Hi, this is Brendan with Royal Furniture. A big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting for helping us launch our Alabama stores in Prattville, Montgomery, Auburn, Gadsden, Athens, Decatur, Oxford, and Florence. We appreciate your hard work and dedication. Here's to a strong partnership and even stronger results. Thanks, Blue Water.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WHCA.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good.
This is so aggravating. I'm trying to do. I just told the guys I'm trying to do a password to get into my American Express account, and it won't let me in. I just said it. I mean, it's brand new, and it's saying no. I hate being dyslexic. Dyslexic and passcodes don't go together. Anybody out there driving that's dyslexic understands what I'm talking about right now. And they won't let you make it simple. Why can't it just be like the username Ray and the password Bowles?
Because
Who's ever going to think of something like that?
What? No, how about try this one out? I got one for you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's not. Let me take that. It's got to be at least 18 syllables, and it's got to have a uppercase. It's
Well,
gotta
this
have
is for a
it's
credit
gotta
card.
have-
I see.
I just want to pay the bill. I want to give them
Just
money.
call the number. They'll
But
take
it
it
won't
over.
let me in.
Yeah, just do your birthday, your social security number. Or a nice trick is use like, if you're going to put an A in a word, use the @ sign.
Okay, that could work. Oh, or I can just call Angie and tell her to do it.
Yes, that is also an option.
I'm
You can
gonna
always
go that
follow
route. I'm gonna call Angie and tell her to pay it. I can't get in. I give up.
Oh, you married
But,
man.
Listen, if you drive up to private carpet, we're gonna let you in the door. We're not gonna lock you out or block you in, and won't let you. And we don't make you sign up with a bunch of crazy passports. You come in, you look at the stuff. We go out, we give you a free measurement. We make it as simple as possible, all the way around. Even when it's time to pay for the job, you can do it on a check. You can pay on a credit card. You can pay over the phone. We're very easy here at Private Carpet. So if y'all need the floor and don't want a bunch of hoops to jump through, call us at 285-8117.
Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Troy.
If you get a minute tomorrow, I got to tell you about my Destiny trip. It was awesome.
Absolutely. Well, I got a second now. Like, if you want to tell us, we got plenty of time.
They had a trial lady. So it was a bunch of trial lawyers down there for a convention. But they're all female. It's like a female trial lawyer convention.
Lady lawyer.
And I, Joey, every time I went on the elevator, I was getting hit on.
Really?
I felt so good about myself by the end of that trip. And I thought, you need something done from the lobby? I'll go get it.
I mean, what were they? How did you know you were? How did you know you were getting hit on? Like, describe the play they were throwing at you.
Well, like one lady copied my shirt. I said, "Well, I appreciate that. My wife really loves it, and it's one of her favorite shirts." And she said, "Is your wife here with you on this one?" I said, "Yeah, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary." It grinned real big. That'll shut it down right then and there.
Remember, the trial lawyers are probably do divorce stuff, so you got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you put a lawyer out there, I'm like, ladies, I know what y'all are here for. There ain't nobody interested in a trial lawyer. We can't afford it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're like catnip to the lady lawyers. I get it. These married men, 30 years married, and they're like, I wish I had that stability in my life.
It was great when you said, "Oh yeah, she's here. She's beautiful. Can I show you a picture of her on my phone?"
Oh my God! Get out of here.
Well, I did feel good about myself. I'm like, okay, that don't ever happen to me. I normally feel like I have a face for radio.
Honeypot, baby,
This is
honeypot.
nice.
Well, at least you weren't wearing a hard hat. I'm sure like that would have ruined it.
That's right.
That's it. But we did have a good time. Every now and then, it is nice to sneak off because it is our 28th anniversary next week on Saturday. But we got to go get Taylor from Alabama, so that's how we'll spend our 28th anniversary.
You're supposed to say
Yeah.
28 glorious years. You every time, Ray. Whenever you say it, say 28 glorious years. That way, if she's in
Glorious
earshot,
years, yeah.
she thinks, "Well, that's so nice of him."
Yeah, so the right answer is not, it feels like 50.
That's right.
No, it has been. We are very lucky.
You're very
to have each other. It's been a great 28 years, and I hope we get another 28 behind us.
Amen, brother.
But if y'all need the floor, call us, 285-8117.
Again, that's 285-8117. Appreciate it, Ray.
Little attention.
Thanks. Bye.
He's like, "Yeah, that's nice. My wife bought this shirt for me."
So did we learn anything today?
That the world needs a lot more Jesus Christ and more love in it.
That's certainly true. I'm just looking. Why does Martha McCallum look like an
They
Easter
got,
egg?
They got her
still?
made. They got her made up. Very strange. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Almost looked AI generated.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's got to be interesting the what these folks actually look like without TV makeup.
Yeah, come on.
Men and women,
Of course.
like because
Look at her.
yeah,
Because she's been airbrushed. Her face has been
she's
airbrushed.
beautiful,
She
but
is.
it's like you don't look like that in the morning.
No. Got rollers in her hair.
Yeah, well, we learned that the president almost had to deal. Well, he did have to deal with another
he
assassination
did.
attempt. But yeah, I think Trump handled it like a champ.
He did.
Jimmy Kimmel, just what a piece of work that guy is.
He is. He's got so much anger and hatred in his heart. It's clear.
Absolutely. Top story now at 1819 is that Alan Mendenhall piece I read.
Good.
The SPLC and the map that ate the territory.
Rawr.
Pretty good one.
That was a
there
great
from
story.
Alan, look forward to talking to him next Monday.
Did you hear how he described himself? A leftist.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Oh,
reading
we've all been
poetry.
there.
I wonder what kind of poetry he was reading. Or if he was reading like beatnik stuff or what. We'll have to ask him. I gotta think he was reading maybe like, he's probably doing E. Cummings or something like that.
E. Cummings. Oh.
That's so blasé. He says, I don't understand what he's saying. I don't understand the words. They're
There's
not really
Joey
words.
Clark over there in the corner. You think he's reading Bukowski. He's really reading William Blake.
Yes, of course.
I always thought he was a secret fruit playing the fiddle over there.
Fiddle.
Yeah, we already established that euphemism a little earlier in the program. It's called the callback.
That's right.
Yeah, but the news cycle really consumed by this attempt.
Yep.
And the latest press conference showed that the police did respond immediately. Now, everybody's saying they were bad shots. I agree, but given the last time I tried to shoot a pistol and couldn't even hit the target, let alone the bullseye, I will not open my mouth on that.
Handguns are, they require a lot of muscle memory. So, you know.
Yeah, it's not as easy as a shotgun or even a rifle.
No, it's a much shorter barrel.
All right. Well, my mistake, too, is I had my arm bent.
Well, you know at least what
I
you
kept
did wrong.
shooting down.
You know what you were doing. You weren't doing. The
Yeah, I
gangster
didn't have
way.
it straight out. Like I had it like this, and so I kept
Yeah.
shooting down.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What am I doing wrong?"
You know what I teach, at least Rob and me, when we've got a little range at the house and we do some situational training, is I say crouch, drop down, so reduce your target, right? And when you do that, you instead of shooting way over or under, you're usually hitting center of mass because you're down lower. So it's just something that a little trick I learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So crouch down and then go into shoot.
I'll probably just get a shotgun.
That solves almost all your problems.
There's some pretty cool ones.
There's
out
some
there,
the Tavor, the Israeli one was really cool.
Yeah, like a good tactical shotgun. It's like hard
Hey,
to
if you
beat.
get hit by double up buck,
Yeah.
it's going to hurt.
Yeah, and then the final one would be like a slug.
Yeah, that would hurt too.
Yeah, that might hurt.
How about a dragon's? Have you ever seen dragon's breath?
No.
It's a fire, shoots fire out, and I use it to breach doors. It's
An
fine.
incendiary.
Yeah, they're legal. You can buy them. You can buy the rounds.
Somebody goes and breaks into a house.
Get
It's like,
dragons
I
fired.
thought I might get shot, but I didn't know I was going to get a flamethrower from a shotgun. Goodness gracious. What is wrong with people in Alabama?
Wrong house, buddy.
Right. Yeah, no, and if you did that in like New Jersey, you'd probably end up in prison defending yourself. Like, well, you used unnecessary force to defend yourself, sir.
I like the guys that use the my flamethrower to clear their driveways in the winter. It's funny.
Anyway,
All right.
we got to get out of here. Appreciate your time.
You're
man.
welcome, brother.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy,